Aloha, shifters from across the world, light guardians, dreamers, thank you so much for tuning in once again. My name is Brendon, aka Wolf Shield, aka Mystic Spider-Man, aka Skull the Wolf, aka Skull Babylon, welcoming you to what is not a super official Paradigm Shift Central team roundtable. This is a little bit different. Tonight we are actually doing more of just a casual team hangout, and the context behind that is that right now, in theme with the new moon, in theme with that Sagittarius that we're moving into, we've been doing a lot of back-end construction on the project, getting some things in place for the next phase. And so leading up to next week's broadcast, which will be much more kind of tailored and back to the traditional format of really kind of focusing and bringing everyone up to speed on the basics of the Paradigm Shift Central project and how they can be involved. We're going to go over some of that tonight, as well as just a chance, because I didn't want to not do this broadcast, even though there's still a lot of behind the scenes work, even though it still is under construction. I still wanted to be able to use this space for us to be able to connect as a team. And right now, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, we're doing the broadcast a little bit different tonight. We're doing it through Discord chat, which means that right now, for those of you watching on YouTube, you're seeing me on camera, but we do have multiple other people within the team Discord chat that I'll be having on the microphone in the next little bit. And so again, just as a quick concept, a quick introduction to the context of this, ParadigmShiftCentral.com is a real-world interactive game to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness, and part of how we're doing that is by building a global team of shifters and creating paradigm shift communities. And I'll explain more about that, but within the context of the fact that we are a team, I want to be able to invite my fellow teammates here, my fellow shifters, to release the beast as we all unmute our microphones, don't do anything too crazy, and make some noise and say hello to the people tuned in right now. So go ahead, guys and girls, shifters, make some noise, send some love. Flood of love coming at them. People are just like, oh god, I wasn't ready for this.
Too much.
Guys, stop with the pickle.
Hello,
Right.
hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Everyone, I'm sorry if there was pickle conversation.
Don't-
My mic again.
Don't even worry about it.
Jenna,
Okay, guys,
I'm
I'll ask
sorry.
you guys to mute your microphones,
Ew.
and we'll
Pickle.
keep it
This is
within
chaos. I love it.
check. Yeah, exactly right. So
You guys are missing some fun.
Coordinated
Anyone
chaos.
That's not on the Discord.
I'm gonna
It's
keep
a
him
party over here.
okay, guys, so I'll just ask you guys to mute your
party.
microphones again, and then from there, I'm just going to go over some of the new kind of format that we're going to be working with in the future, primarily through the team Discord chat. So for those of you who are in the Discord, you guys will actually be able to see what I'm talking about because you're already in the Discord. For those of you on YouTube, I'll be doing a picture-in-picture so that you can also be able to get an idea of what to be able to it again next week, just in a slightly different format, because we're gonna have like the website's gonna be more upgraded and everything by then. It's just I just want to be able to remind and talk to everyone here, talk to everyone who is specifically within the Discord chat, and for those of you who are tuning in the fact that, you know, a shifter is something that I naturally felt myself called to be. And so in many ways, you know, I was kind of like the prime shifter in a sense, even though obviously there's been many shifters throughout cultures in many different ways. But within the context of this project, being a shifter was essentially me being me. And the context of what a shifter is someone who is working on themselves, who is leveling themselves up within this game, the game being life, the game being shifting consciousness. And in particular, the other qualities of a shifter that I invite you guys to be able to embody is the core concept of being able to be conscious media creators. So this is where we're going to be focusing the project moving forward even more so, even though it has been a big part of the project even up until now. But over the last couple months, we've kind of been focusing a lot more on building up my Instagram and getting into the routine of these broadcasts and inviting more people on. But we really haven't been using the main website that much. And so moving forward, we're going to be using the main website as a way to be able to create intentional media. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. So the other aspects of being a shifter, because it's really quite simple. So like you got like the core concept is you are working on leveling yourself up. You're expanding your own consciousness. You are activating your avatar. You're being the best version of yourself, not only for the sake of your own experience, but to be able to help others, to be able to show up with purpose, with service, to be able to answer a higher calling, to be able to do the work of the universe, so to speak, to be the dream waking itself up, as we commonly say. And so creating conscious media is a big part about being a shifter. The other parts of being a shifter are being able to focus on the real world action to be able to create the physical paradigm shift communities where we are. And so again, the concept of the paradigm shift communities, and anybody can create one. It's very simple. This is the idea, is that we are inviting anyone to be able to create a paradigm shift community. Is a paradigm shift community is about having a regular open-minded discussion and meditation circle within your local area. And by regular, I mean consistent. So like once a week, twice a month, once a month, whatever works for you. And within this context, it is basically about creating the physical space where you are to be able to bring people together through the power of synchronicity, to be able to connect people, to be able to share ideas, to be able to grow, to be able to meet people in your location, to be able to make friends, and to be able to help accelerate the shift on that level. And so over the years since we've done this project, this has been the core concept that we've been putting out. We're just like, okay, you know, like you can create a paradigm shift community where you are, you can be a shifter. And the other part, and I'll just tie this all in together, and then that's pretty much the whole picture. And then I'm going to go over the Discord chat. And then from there, I'm going to open up the microphones and we'll chat with you guys. And I want to get some feedback, check in how you guys are feeling, and we'll do some brainstorming together. And so the other aspect of being a shifter is, again, within the context of the real world action, this is where we get into the idea of hacking the matrix with love through acts of shiftivism. So shiftivism would be things such as free hugs, conscious sign holding, even just like charity work. You know, shiftivism, as a shifter, shiftivism refers to intentional acts of love to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness. So again, a shifter does shiftivism, and shiftivism can kind of be applied to many things. Like we can even think of the art that we're creating as a form of shiftivism, because shiftivism can still kind of be like an online thing that we're kind of talking about. Like even creating a good inspirational post on Instagram can still be thought of as shiftivism, but ideally we kind of use the word shiftivism primarily towards the real world action. So again, it's basically within the same context of how you would think of the word activism, but this is a word within the community that we use, shiftivism. So it makes sense in that context. So again, everyone who is within this project, moving forward, what we were doing, and part of what my role is as a facilitator, as a captain, as a team leader, is to be able to help direct our focus towards these objectives. And again, the objectives are leveling yourself up and being the best version of yourself that you can be by learning about the universe and learning about yourself. That's one. I'm holding a finger up right now. Number two, creating conscious media. And this means documenting the shift from your perspective, expressing yourself through art, not even just for the purpose of other people seeing it, but literally for the purpose of your own growth. Because regardless of how many people you're trying to reach with your art, the most important benefit that you're going to get out of it is how you are growing through the process of merely creating it. And a core thing about this is that every piece of journalism that you create, every quest journal that you create, every conscious article, every video that you make, every Instagram post that you make is leveling you up. It is getting you better at, it is crafting this skill. It is allowing you to prepare yourself for the other projects that you're going to create down the road. And then, so the other things, and then I'm just going to give another overview, is again, creating the physical paradigm shift communities. So that's 3. And then number 4, the real world action, going out there, doing free hugs, talking to strangers, of course, giving out shift buttons with the website to the Paradigm Shift Central project, inviting people in. And again, doing those real world actions that are like creating new realities, that are bringing people together. So those 4 things: working on yourself, creating conscious media, creating physical paradigm shift communities, engaging in acts of shiftivism. That is what it means to be a shifter. So for everybody within this project, within this community, this is what you are invited into. This is how you play. And so with everybody who is in the Discord, with everybody who is in this project in whatever way that you are involved, the best way that we make it work is by having the shared vision, and by supporting each other, and by working with each other, and by collaborating. And so understandably, like, part of the context of the Paradigm Shift project, which is expressed through the physical meetups that we do, is practicing having discussion. And so when you're having a physical paradigm shift community and you're talking about something with someone else, it's okay if your perspectives are not the same. That's to be expected, that's to be understood, and that's to be appreciated. So even within this project, it's about being able to understand that each of us bring our own unique perspective to this table, to this round table as light guardians. Again, kind of anchoring back into the whole concept of Knights of the Round Table and really bringing us back to that purpose. But again, within the team Discord chat, part of what we are doing is, again, practicing sharing knowledge. We're practicing sharing knowledge through our voice chats that we are doing, through our text chats, and now specifically through the more refined channels that we are creating as well. And so even still, like, within this project, I want to be able to support the idea that everybody coming into this project and who is involved in the Discord is involved under the context that they have the best intentions for the team. And so within this context, it really filters itself out from basically anybody who might be coming in simply for the sake of trolling the community, or simply for the sake of like getting a reaction out of people. If people are coming in with that intention, then either I'll like talk to them individually, or literally we'll just like remove them from the team Discord, because we have the opportunity to do that. And that is like part of what my role is as like a guardian of like our threshold, of our kingdom. And so the context that we are creating digitally is thinking about the space online as being a kingdom, as being an actual virtual digital space. And so everybody who shows up, and this is what I feel like, believe me, everything that's happened so far, I feel really positive about it. I'm really proud about where we have come. The last 3 months have been really exciting because we've been creating a lot of momentum through these broadcasts. And again, it's about creating a place, and this is a key word, creating a place that feels like home. And that is what I want you guys to really be able to reflect on. For those of you like in the Discord chat who I'm specifically talking to, as well as those of you on the YouTube audience, is creating a place that feels like home. And therefore you treat it like home. Meaning that if you're in the team like chat and everything like that, you know, you're showing up with that positive intention. And that is kind of to be expected. So just kind of like putting that out there, even though it doesn't have to be said, but it is worth saying just to be able to get everybody within that same context, because context is so important within the story that we are creating. And so in terms of like the future, in terms of what to be able to expect from this project, what we'll be able to expect is the idea of us being able to become better individuals, better conscious media creators, facilitating our local physical paradigm shift communities and being leaders within our communities. And again, doing regular acts of shiftivism in whatever frequency works for you and being able to reach out to people. Through this is supporting the idea of helping accelerate the shift in consciousness. This is the game. This is what we're playing here. And that idea is so powerful and yet so simple, right? Like this is kind of, some people, they kind of get involved with other communities and, you know, maybe their objective is to like overthrow the government, or maybe their objective is to specifically stop people from eating meat, or specifically stop this and specifically stop this, or do this, da, 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 da. Within the Paradigm Shift Central community, it's being able to understand that there are many different aspects of this reality that deserve our attention. And it's not the idea that we're trying to solve one thing in particular, but it's understanding that by coming together as a community, the solutions naturally arise, and we will be able to see the world that we are trying to create. And so what we are creating here, and this is again going back to like what the origins of the project have been 10 years ago, I want everybody here to understand that what we are creating right now, and the same we've been creating over the past like several months, years, and moving forward, is creating the patterns and the templates that are going to be able to help support the future for our children and for the future generations. You know, like this is literally doing the work now so that in 20 years from now, the world will be a slightly different place. People will have the opportunity to be able to talk about things that they don't normally get a chance to talk about, related to metaphysics and spirituality and all those shifty topics and everything like that. So again, it's like literally seeing that bigger vision, keeping that as kind of the context of being able to understand that the shift in consciousness takes place on an individual one-to-one level. Like it is one-to-one conversations that are making those big shifts, as well as one-to-one interactions that we create through the conscious media that we are creating through as well. Because the conscious media that we are creating is a conversation. Like that is a conversation that you are having with your individual audience, be it through your YouTube, be it through your Instagram as well. And so I just want to get into a little bit more things, and then from there, again, we're just going to focus in. I'm going to open up some microphones and stuff like that. So what you'll notice now within the team Discord chat, and I'm just going to bring up the image here on the YouTube, so the YouTube will be able to see, which is totally fine. So within the team Discord chat, and again, for those of you who haven't joined the team Discord, this is like a primary place for us to be able to coordinate as a team. And the link for that is in the YouTube info. It's tinyurl.com/paradigm shift chat. So moving forward, we've done some revisions on the layout of the team Discord chat. So the context of what we have done, what I've like sat and, you know, kind of like spent a lot of time thinking about, because there's still more work to be done. There's still more work to be done on the main website, on my page through Instagram, but it starts here with the Discord chat. So the objectives within the Discord chat are to be able to help focus towards our objectives. And again, our objectives are going to be about creating the conscious media, about being able to create the quest journals, the conscious articles, the videos, and also our Instagram posts that we're creating as media creators. So what Paradigm Shift is, what I am helping it become more of, is a place where us as a team are not only reaching our individual audiences, but we are collectively boosting our individual platforms. So what we're going to be doing in the future, some particular things, is going to be able to have automated feeds through the team Discord chat for our Instagram feeds, for our YouTubes, for the quest journals, for the conscious articles, and for even particular live broadcasts. So this is just going to be a little thing here. I'm probably not going to touch on everything today, because again, I just want to be able to get into just hanging out with you guys and chatting and stuff. One of the things within the team Discord chat that I'll just mention to everyone here, because I want you guys to be able to start using it. And again, apologies if I'm using the term guides in a very general non-gender sense, because that's how I use it oftentimes, though I know there's a lot of people there that would disagree with that. That's a whole nother conversation. Working on getting better at it. Anyways, the concept that I want to be able to introduce you guys to is on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll see main media feeds. One of those channels is Team Live Broadcast Feed. What I want to be able to invite you to do is to be able to post in that channel when you are about to go live on either your YouTube or onto your Instagram. So right now, a lot of us are on Instagram, but we're not all connected. We're not all friends on Instagram, not yet at least. And so this is a very powerful idea, because as we're paying attention to the team Discord, I want you guys to be able to keep a look on the main media feeds, in particular the team live broadcast. And I want you to be able to use the team live broadcast channel to be able to post in there when you're planning on going live, either again on your YouTube. If you have a link already on your YouTube, you can post it there. But in particular, this is to be able to create a new channel to be able to help support us in sharing our live broadcast through Instagram, for example. Because through Instagram, there's no link to the broadcast on Instagram. So how it would work is that you literally just post a link to your profile and you just tell everyone, hey, I'm going to go live on Instagram at 3 p.m. today. And you put the location, like the time zone as well. And then people will see that and they'll be like, sweet, you know, I'll be there. I'll check it out. But at the same time, you can also host your own Google Live Hangouts, your own Google Hangouts. And I know some people in the team have already been doing this, and this has been really exciting. So that's just one of the things that I want to be able to point your guys' direction to, is the idea of using the team live broadcast feed to be able to help get you into the habit of doing your own live broadcasts, because the live broadcasts are very powerful. Underneath the main media feeds, you also have the Instagram feed. Again, there's stuff here that is being updated. So like, that's why, like, again, we're going to be going over this stuff again next week once it's more refined. I'm working on getting the team Instagram feed. Basically, I'm going to be adding a lot of your individual Instagram profiles into an RSS feed that is going to automate itself through the Instagram feed on the team Discord. So that way, when people post to their Instagram, it will automatically pop up in the Discord. And if it doesn't automatically pop up, you can still use the team Instagram feed to be able to post in there as well. Exact same concept with the YouTube feed. Within the YouTube feed, it is going to be an automated thing where we are going to be able to post our individual YouTube videos as they are coming out. And it will also be posting YouTube videos of people who are not even directly in the community, but are people who I'm friends with, who I want to be able to help share their videos. And so if they're posting a new video, it's going to show up within that feed in the Discord chat. And these feeds are also going to be linked into the main website as well. And again, I may or may not get too much into the main website too much. And then so again, the quest journals, those are a core part of this project that we're going to be focusing more on in the future, because we haven't really been focusing on those too much recently. And so again, the quest journals, from a basic concept, they are a blog. They are a place for you to be able to practice creating professional level content, to be able to express yourself, to document the shift in consciousness, to be able to share your story in a way that's going to help you level up, but is also going to be in a way that is going to help other people read about your story and be inspired. So in a way, a lot of us have already kind of been doing this through Instagram, and you can even take some posts on Instagram and kind of turn them into quest journals. But again, we're going to kind of flesh this out as we keep going. So just another core concept that I just got to be able to express, because this is part of what's going to just help you understand, because I didn't mention this and I apologize. Part of what I want you to be able to think about Paradigm Shift Central as is a conscious media production company. This has always been an idea that we've had with it, but some people kind of aren't always seeing it as that. You know, they're just like, oh, this is a cool place for me to be able to hang out and chat with people and everything like that. But when we are thinking about it as a conscious media production company, that creates the context where not only are we showing up to chat as a team, but we are actually showing up to work as a team. We are showing up to create as a team. And so from my own skill set of being a conscious media creator for 10 plus years, I went to school for media theory and production. My role, what I want to be able to give to you as a team, is to be able to help teach you more about how to create conscious media, to be able to help create a platform where your content is being seen and you are learning and inspired about how to create better writing, how to document the shift in consciousness, how to create better videos, and etc, etc, etc. So the quest journals on the main website, we're going to be getting into those. And again, the main website, live.paradigmshiftcentral.com. I'm just going to bring that up on the YouTube right now for those of you who haven't seen it. Again, the main website, which again, I know like a lot of you who have been in the Discord over the past couple months probably have not even checked out too much of the main website yet. I'm going to be doing some more updates on the main website, but the basic concepts there, where you do have like the feeds for the live broadcast, as well as the quest journals, and as well as the conscious articles. So the difference between the quest journals and the conscious articles, the best way I can explain it is that the quest journals are subjective and the conscious articles are objective, meaning that the quest journals are more from your direct experience, and the conscious articles are kind of like more factual information based, but they can also be a journalistic report, which can also have a subjective perspective. So it's they kind of blur into each other, but you would think of conscious articles as being like almost, you really want them to be professional. You really want the conscious articles to be something that we as a community can be actually able to post on the website and to be able to use to invite other people to connect into the broadcast. And so part of what my role is, our role is that through the content on the website, we are helping facilitate we are helping be able to deliver your content to a wider audience. So part of my objective over the past couple months has been building my Instagram. And one of the key things with Instagram is that once you reach 10K, you get the swipe up feature. So what we're going to be doing in the future is I'm going to be really focusing on my Instagram as a primary feed to be able to help promote our collective content. So throughout the routine of the week, what we would do is, as new quest journals are going up, I would post about that within my stories on Instagram and be able to invite people to be able to swipe up on Instagram to be able to read your quest journal. And we'll also be able to direct them right to the RSS feed so they can read, even, you know, they can choose from which quest journal they want to be able to read. So again, like, all of the reach that I am building through my own personal channel, we are funneling into the project to be able to help more of you guys be able to reach more people as well. So again, quest journals can be dream logs, they can be perspectives, they can be synchronicity reports. A key thing that I want to be able to encourage is shiftivism logs. So you would actually create a quest journal about the time that you went out and did free hugs. And if you get a couple pictures of that and you post it and you post that into your quest journal, that's really powerful. And again, you can create almost like a mimic of that on an Instagram post as well, but then you can do it again on a quest journal, but you can tailor it, you can create it longer because Instagram has a limit on how long it can be, whereas with the quest journals, they can be as long as you want, and you can include multiple images, you can embed videos right into it. So Instagram's cool, but the quest journals do have a little bit more liberty in terms of how we design it. And again, I know a lot of people haven't even gotten into the habit of creating blogs. So this will be a good experience for you to be able to learn more about that style of format and the benefits of it, and the benefits of us being able to post our blogs into a single location so that it archives it. And so this is where you have to think that as we are creating our individual quest journals, together we are actually creating a shared story. And so if you were to step back and look at multiple quest journals over the course of a month, you could actually see like a synchronistic story between our entries. And so that's kind of like, it's really interesting because that's always been something that I've kind of naturally done, and I mean, I'm sure you guys see this through your own Instagram feeds where, you know, it's really cool when you're posting individual links on individual posts on Instagram, but there's something really magical when you just take a moment and you just kind of scroll through your Instagram and you just kind of look at all of it as information, and you're just like, wow, like look at where I've been, look at what I've done, look at how much I've transformed, and you're kind of like absorbing it all as like a single piece of art. And so that's kind of where the quest journals together, as we're creating them in a professional format, will create this bigger piece of art, this bigger documentation of consciousness. And again, this is something that, from my understanding, like there could be other projects that are kind of doing it in similar ways, but I think what we are doing is very unique within the context of it being specific to the shift in consciousness in that sense. So yeah, we can get into details about that a little bit later on. Other things that I just want to be able to mention within the top of the Discord chat, just a couple channels I'll just mention real quick. There's going to be a welcome message at the top. That's going to be able to give people the context of what the project is about, as well as giving them some additional links. Important announcements, you guys should always keep an eye on that because that's where you're going to get information about particular updates as well as upcoming broadcasts. And some new things that we have added are the shift missions. The shift missions, those are going to kind of be revealed as we go, but those can kind of be even daily missions for you guys. It can be specific missions to be able to start creating your quest journals. We're going to be getting some feedback, and we're going to kind of be creating what the shift missions will be. The global team map is another thing on there, and that is going to be something that we're going to be creating through the collaboration of the team Discord. Now, a lot of you who have been around in the past, you actually know that we already had a team global map. We already have one using the information of the people who have signed up to the main Paradigm Shift Central website, which is over 900 people. However, because of the format of that website, I'm not entirely like satisfied with the main website as being a primary place to be able to keep in contact with people, which is why we are using the team Discord, because it's way more effective and instantaneous. And so basically, even though we already have a map that already has like over 850 entries on the map, what I am choosing to do is essentially reboot the map, tabula rasa. We're starting fresh, and we are going to individually add our information to the map, and then you guys will actually have an individual link for your location on the map that you will be responsible for updating if you choose. So within the map, and I'll show you guys, it may not be today, but it'll be something that we'll kind of probably even just do offline. It will be very valuable because it will start to give us an idea of where people are actively at who are in this chat right now, who are in the team Discord. Because again, if I were to use like the map from before, there's 800 people there. I don't know where those 800 people are now. Like, I don't even know how many of them are still involved with the project, right? So that's where we're kind of switching things up, and we're getting into the whole, again, I have no problem doing a whole like tabula rasa on the team map, because it's going to help create a more effective team map moving forward, and we'll be able to see it grow even as it starts small. And then in addition to our individual locations as shifters, like you'll go to the team map, you'll click a button, and it'll be like add your entry, you'll put in your name, and then there'll be an empty space where you can add in text that you want. Within that text, you would logically add in your Instagram, your YouTube, and also your name on Discord as well, and any information as well, be it like personal interests or reasons why you would want to be able to connect with people. I'll kind of leave you guys I'll give you some space to be able to get creative with that. In addition, we'll also be able to add specific locations to the map that we feel are of interest, such as like a specific location where you might have your paradigm shift meetups as well, or like a really cool crystal shop as well. So I'll let you guys kind of begin to create information about your location using the team map, and then that will be very, very useful in the future. And then of course within the team map, we'll also have the locations for the individual paradigm shift communities. And so again, within this project, like we've gone through many iterations of it through the fact that technology changes. And I'll just hit upon a couple more things, and then we're going to open up the mics. And again, your guys' attention right now is super appreciated. I really, really appreciate you guys just giving me your attention right now, because that is like the most important thing that anybody can give someone in this day and age, is our attention. And again, your attention right now is helping us collaborate as a team, because this is the game, is to work as a team, is to work as a team of shifters, and to work as a production company in that sense. The other thing I was just going to say is that over the years, when we started this project back in 2010, and then in 2012 we kind of got a little bit more involved, and we were encouraging people to create the physical paradigm shift communities. We went through this whole process of them creating the physical paradigm shift communities and creating individual Facebook pages as well. Since then, those individual Facebook pages have pretty much like ghosted. They are pretty much useless at this point. And so even though at the time, at certain times, like there literally was a point where there was well over 50 documented paradigm shift communities. Again, because of the fact of how the internet is, like it's almost like the apocalypse already happened, but we're picking up, we're surviving the apocalypse. So again, the fact that back in the past there were 50 paradigm shift communities and 50 paradigm shift Facebook pages, like that's all in the past. Now we're starting fresh, and I want to be able to invite each one of us here to be able to step into that place when we're ready to be able to create a physical paradigm shift community, and that information will be added to the map with new details. And so that's where on the map it'll have our individual locations, the physical paradigm shift locations, and also within the team Discord chat, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice that not only do we have the regions for like the different continents that we're on, but we also have a new section specifically for paradigm shift communities. So right now there's currently one there, which is for paradigm shift London, Ontario, Canada. And as you guys let me know, you're just like, hey, I'm starting to get the ball rolling on creating my physical paradigm shift community. I think I'm ready for the team channel. And then you would let me know, and then we would create that channel for you. And then we can actually create an individual invite link that you can be able to send to people that would direct them to your chat there. And then you can use that Discord chat to be able to connect with your local community, to be able to post information about your upcoming meetings as well. So that's like some really, really powerful stuff. And so again, a lot of this, we're kind of like yes, it's experimental, but the intention is clear. And so you can't steer a parked car, so there's going to be certain parts of it that we're going to tailor, we're going to tweak as we move through it and as we kind of continue to move forward. Other things within the Discord chat that I just want you guys to take notice of, since I have your attention. Again, you have your primary chat section, your main chat. You guys are already familiar with that. Introductions, that's already familiar. Shiftivism tactics and free hugs. That is a specific channel under primary chats that I want to be able to encourage us to be able to use to talk a little bit about our intentions for doing free hugs. And again, other shiftivism tactics. Shiftivism tactics could be like not graffitiing, but doing like chalk art or something like that, take a picture of that, share it. That would be kind of a quick way to be able to share what you're doing. In addition, you can also expand upon that and create a quest journal as well. So use that shiftivism tactic to be able to inspire each other. If you have a story, a quick story, you know, before you create your quest journal, if you're just like, oh, you know, here's a really quick story about an awesome synchronicity where I met someone on a bus and we had a great conversation and I gave them a shift button, that can be something that can go into shiftivism tactics and the free hug section. The other channel underneath that is the shift community admin. So again, that's obvious, but that is specifically for people who are on that path to being able to organize physical meetups where they are. So just as a quick shout out to Turner, Alchemist of Flesh. He recently posted in there a few days ago. He wrote, he says, my first meeting will be on the 8th and will be hosted every Saturday 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm printing out posters and spreading the word will be top priority. I'll attract some people to join me. I won't have to pay any fees. It's a great space. Bringing salt lamps, singing bowls, preparing some videos for discussion, and bringing extra shift buttons and free hug signs to put out. So again, that's a prime example there, and huge thumbs up to Turner. You know, you guys can give like a little clap for him right now if you're, I know you're all muted, but I know we're all listening. So that's a prime example of what we would be able to expect more of within the community, within the Paradigm Shift community admins chat. So even if you're thinking about creating your community, what I want you guys to be able to think of the Discord as is a way for you to be able to create accountability for yourself. So, you know, if you're just like, hey, I'm starting to think about creating a Paradigm Shift community, type that out, put it into the Paradigm Shift community chat, and then other people will be like, sweet, awesome, let us know how it goes, you know, and then you kind of create the momentum, you get the ball rolling on that. So again, you can see the benefits and you can see like why these chats are primary chats. These are the core objectives. So like, there within the project, like we are past the point where the Discord chat is just a place to hang out and endlessly chat on end. You can still do that, but in addition, there are going to be, you know, invitations for us to be able to use our time on a regular basis where we're always focusing towards intentions. We're always focusing towards objectives. There should never be a time where people are just like on the Discord chat and just be like, oh, you know, like I'm like, I like why am I here again or something like that, or like what's, you know, like I hope there's some entertaining chat or something. You know, if you need some reassurance on what you can be involved with, you know, check in with the shift missions and ask for anybody who wants to be able to collaborate on stuff. And there's always media that you can create, there's always content that we're going to be creating. So again, focusing on the idea that as you enter into this virtual space, it's like you're entering into an office and there's going to be people who are working there. You're not always expected to work all the time. Yes, it is voluntary. Yes, we will be able to afford to pay some of you guys in the future as the team Patreon continues to increase. But again, the basic concept is there where, again, this is a creative space. This is a creative community hub where we want to be able to encourage you guys to be able to use your time, not just to you know, like continuously go through like chats and chats and chats and chats. Those are great, but we need to be able to spend more of our time on focusing on the shiftivism, focusing on the conscious media creation, focusing on, you know, being able to create the physical paradigm shift communities. Those are the, you know, 3 of the 4 key objectives. So other things I'll just point out to you guys, the cool videos and other links, you can post videos in there, state the obvious. You can also post articles from other websites if you have information on there. So again, even right now, you know, I'm just opening up the link for the Discord. I'll just show it on screen so that the people on the YouTube can actually see this as well. But again, you know, part of what is in there is you guys already using it to be able to share the content that you are creating. So quick shout out there to Justin, who has a recent video in there. And so again, his video is right below Actualist. Actualist has been sharing some videos, and it doesn't matter within the cool videos, like you guys can share your videos there, but your videos can also go into the main media feed under team YouTube feed as well. So there's a lot of people who have already been creating, you know, awesome media content. And even if it's something that came out a while ago, we still want to be able to help promote it in a new way. And again, this will be happening by featuring people's content through Facebook. The purpose for Facebook that we will be using is we will use Facebook strategically to re-upload individual community creators' content, such as a good video, to the Facebook, and then with the intention of intentionally boosting it. And so this is part of the tactics that we're actually going to be able to get into, because one of the things that we're going to be moving into in the future is we're going to be able to have like scheduled periods where we are meeting up online to be able to work together. So this is something, and I'm still deciding this. This is, again, we're kind of in the mid construction phase, but I'm going to be having routines through the Discord chat, where it will be, you know, like 10 a.m. like is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like Monday to Friday is going to be a set time where people are invited to be able to show up on the team Discord chat to be able to either just chat there or to be able to work. And one of the things that we can work on as an example is to strategically share content at the same time. So for example, we also have the shift teams on there for the social media tactics team. And a lot of you have seen the social media tactics team, but you haven't really, you know, you're just like, what does the social media tactics team exactly do? And I know a lot of you have been kind of just been wondering that because it hasn't been fully active. The social media tactics team would be a place where, for example, say Justin has uploaded a video, and then we re-upload that video to Facebook, and then at that time we would be talking through voice chat, and we would be like, sweet, okay, let's simultaneously share this to multiple groups right now. Over the course of the next half hour, let's facilitate the delivery of this content to Facebook groups. Or again, it can be other content. It can be through YouTube. You know, we'll just be like, okay, let's like take some time to be able to post this to Reddit. Or again, it can be like content that we're promoting and sharing through Instagram as well. So there is more stuff that I want to be able to talk about, but I'll just hit upon it really quickly. But again, you know, as much content as there is on the Discord, believe me, I've meditated on the layout like for a long time. And it's everything's there with intention, and it may seem like there's a lot, but at the same time it is quite simple, and everything there has a purpose. And I think it actually is like quite streamlined. I'm quite happy with how it is. So I'll just hit upon a couple other things. Within the primary chat, you'll notice that there's the psychedelic gifs and animations. You guys are welcome to use that chat purely for the sake of fun, just to be able to promote, like post cool animations and gifs that you guys come across. So again, you can just think how, you know, you're come home late at night and maybe you've like smoked a bowl or something, and then you jump into the psychedelic gifts and you're just kind of scrolling through there and you're just like, sweet, man, like there's some awesome visualizations there type thing. So, you know, use that in kind of like a fun way. That's just kind of like a very fun channel within the primary chat. The Destiny School, again, Destiny School is a broadcast that we do once a month. The last week of every month, we do Destiny School. The next topic for Destiny School is going to be on psychedelics. And so we use Destiny School beforehand to be able to specifically focus on the discussion that's coming up for that broadcast. So we would be sharing research there. We'd be sharing, you know, links and all sorts of other stuff as well. And so let me just scroll down real quick. And again, I just want to give you a huge shout out because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people within the Discord chat, 17, 20, 21 people on the YouTube. So shout out to everyone who's involved with this. So again, this is like, we got some really awesome people here on the team, and none of you have found this by accident. And a lot of you, you know, a lot of you are already familiar with media creation. Some of you are still getting into it, but we have a powerful team here of creators, and we're all here with positive intention, right? So that's like a very, very exciting thing. So again, within the voice chats, you guys will notice that we do have the on-air hangout broadcast, which theoretically we should be in right now, but even though we're not, we're still in the hangout lounge. And then when you have the workroom, so again, in the future moving forward, I'm expecting more people to be in the workroom on a regular basis. And if you're in the workroom, maybe you're in there working on a quest journal, maybe you're brainstorming with people, maybe you're doing some social media tactics, maybe you're looking for some ideas on like how to be able to create certain things. So what we'll be doing in the future is we'll be creating routines where I'm going to be making myself more available within the team chats and within the team voice chats, where it would basically be like having, you know, in the sense that we have an office, it would basically be like I would be at my desk and I would be in the workroom. And if you guys want to join me in the workroom, you can, because obviously throughout the day, I'm usually working on things, and it'll just be getting us more into the habit of like focusing on content creation as well. And other things that I'll just mention real quick. So the main media feeds, we've already gone over that. Those will come to life as I do some more tailoring on them. But again, keep an eye on that. Use the team live broadcast feed to post when you're going live and coordinate that. Other things, so there's the media production zone within the team Discord chat. So again, you can see here all the different media production elements. We have the social media boost group. I'll just explain the social media boost group really quick because I do want to be able to help optimize that in the future. The social media boost group is a very specific channel that is they use them for other social media platforms. On Instagram, you've probably heard them. I think they have like a specific name, engagement groups or something like that. But anyways, the basic idea behind the social media boost group is that you post in the social media boost group when, okay, let me just think of the best way to explain this. Okay, everybody who is involved with the social media boost group, the way how it works is that you only post in the social media boost group after you have taken time to go through the previous posts and engage with them by liking them on Instagram and by commenting. Primarily, these are all going to be posts on Instagram within here. So the basic idea here is that this group is going to create, it's going to be like a machine. It's going to create like this powerful energy where, again, you're only posting in the group if you are committing to spending at least like 10 minutes prior, 20 minutes prior, going through the previous posts, and by engaging them and liking them and commenting at least like a sentence on each post, which helps create the algorithms, which helps boost the algorithms for individual people's Instagram profiles. So imagine, this is kind of where you have to see the vision of the social media boost group. Imagine that if every time you posted into the social media boost group and enough of us were coordinated with the efforts there, that simply you posting into the social media boost group was a way for you to know that 50 people were going to add additional likes and comments to your Instagram posts. And imagine like how that suddenly begins to increase your reach. It suddenly begins to increase your engagement. So don't use the social media boost group unless you are committed to engaging with the previous posts. And so within the Discord, you'll notice that there is the pinned post right up at the top. And I just want to mention that because a lot of people don't even know that. In the top of every single channel, right next to the title, you'll see a little bell icon. That's for the notifications. Right next to that, you'll see an icon that says pinned post, if there is a pinned post. Be sure to click that because within the social media boost group, you'll actually see the rules there and you can reread the rules. So again, it's like only posting in there unless you're engaging with the other posts. So don't just post in there and then just not engage. Like that's not the format. That's not the ecosystem. And quite frankly, that's why I actually haven't been posting in the social media boost group that much, is because I haven't like fully committed myself to engaging with the previous posts. Like I'm checking them out, but I just haven't like fully committed myself to that. But if other people on the team, like that's where everybody can kind of serve a purpose within this project. Part of what you can do to contribute is literally just spend half an hour each day, going through some of the posts that other people are posting and engaging with them. Like that in itself helps. So if we have some people that are showing up each day dedicated to engaging with the social media boost group, you are adding energy to it and you're creating this powerful machine. Because again, what happens when like within some Instagram social media boost groups, you can think that there are boost groups that have like 200 people. So anytime that somebody posts in there, they're getting like 200 extra engagements. So again, you can now you can understand the context of the social media boost group. So it's not just, you're posting in there and you're just like, hey, check out my profile. You're posting specific posts that you want to be able to get boosted through primarily Instagram, but it can also be YouTube as well. Not really Facebook. We're not really focusing on Facebook, but hey, if you want to post Facebook in there as well, but primarily Instagram posts. Okay, so media production zone, I just want to go over this real quick. So the other things in there, media assignments is a new channel that we have recently created. That is where we are going to be coordinating on creating specific videos as a team or as assignments come up. So for example, what we're going to be doing in the future, and this is in coordination with the channel right underneath it, which is the team Google Drive, is the team Google Drive is going to be a place for us to be able to upload our video content as a team. So basically, if somebody here in the channel who is here, they can spend some time one day and go out and film some like awesome shots out in nature. and they can just do that, you know, and then they can show up and upload that video to the Google Drive, and then they'll post in the Google Drive, and they'll basically be like, hey guys, I just uploaded some awesome nature footage, check it out, use it if you want. And then so what can happen is that other people can download that from the Google Drive once they've been given access to it, and they can use that to edit either on mobile or on desktop. And there's a new software link within the browser that is going to be able to help you guys edit, and that is actually posted in video production. So again, you can see as content starts to come in, we can start using the media assignments where, you know, we can kind of use it to be able to focus on collaborative projects. So somebody could write some awesome poetry, somebody could film some awesome video, somebody could create some awesome background music, and then through media assignments you coordinate and you bring it together. And through media assignments, I'll also be able to assign specific people as a team to be able to work on projects together with consent, obviously. So you'd be like, hey, you know, like you and you, okay, let's focus on this. You guys, you three people are gonna focus on creating a conscious article together, you know, and you're gonna do some research on it, and you're gonna bring together something really valuable for the community. So that could be a media assignment. A media assignment wouldn't just be a video, it could be a conscious article, it could be a few things. So again, within the video production, I just want to bring your attention, there's a link that I literally posted into the video production for a website called Clipchamp. I want you guys to be able to check that out if you're interested in video production. That is a recent website that I just discovered, but it is incredibly valuable, and it lets you do video editing right within your browser. That was always the thing in the past where there wasn't a universal video editor available, and I was kind of waiting for it to show up, and now it has shown up. It's not like super high end, like there's not all the bells and whistles, but there's enough bells and whistles there to be able to create some really powerful things. So I'll be, again, as we go through this, I'm going to be working with each of you individually to be able to teach you how to edit. Will be one of the things that I'll be able to work on. So, you know, we'll be spending some times where we'll get up in the morning, and at between like 10 a.m. and 12 and stuff like that, I'll be working with you guys, and we'll be editing on stuff. So again, within the media production, you'll also see the channels there for quest journals, conscious articles. Again, those channels, separate from the feeds, those are the places that you go when you're working on a quest journal, you're brainstorming, you're getting feedback, you might post a draft. So you might be able to just be like, hey, like, you know, how does this paragraph sound? And people will be like, oh, that sounds good. Here's a typo that I noticed, or something like that, right? So that can be a place where you're brainstorming. And again, same with conscious articles. So you can type in, you can add to the conscious articles, you can be like, here's some, you can even offer suggestions within the conscious articles chat. You can be like, you know, oh, I'd love to see someone do an article on, you know, like top 3 reasons why you should sun gaze every morning, or something like that, right? So you can contribute just by offering suggestions, and then somebody else can be like, oh sweet, I'm gonna write that article, right? So and then in addition, you also have conscious memes. Again, within the conscious memes, I know a lot of the memes that we have recently been posting in there have been ones that have just been memes that we found. That's okay, but at the same time, we're also using that place to be able to post memes that we've created as well. And those can be memes that maybe you're creating available to be able to invite other people to repost as well, you know? So you can kind of like upload them for the team. It's a Creative Commons type idea. And then again, also within media productions, you have graphics and animation. There's a lot of new mobile apps available to be able to help you guys with graphics and animation. And again, that's something I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit more about. Also music production. Again, for those of you who are creating music, you can post your music into there and be able to tell people like, hey, if anybody wants to use my music for a video that they're making, please feel free, and they can do that. And then again, poetry, you guys are already doing that. You're already using the poetry channel. That's pretty obvious. We're sharing poetry there. And again, you know, through the poetry section, some of that poetry that we're sharing, I want you to start thinking about how that poetry would sound if it was turned into a video, you know, and how that video could even be literally just B-roll, you know, like I'm going to be making some videos in the future that are going to kind of be like a meditative poetry video with ambient image of space and nature. But at the same time, just because I'm creating that, I don't want you to think that you can't create that. I want you to create your own version of that, right? So kind of, again, think about how you're going to be reaching unique people through your audience. You're going to be reaching your friends. You're going to be reaching your local community, people who I'm not necessarily going to be reaching. Therefore, it's worth you creating. And especially when other people see it and they're just like, wow, you know, like I can't believe that person did that. That was really cool. And so again, it's kind of like totally shifting the paradigm on just how we show up to be able to create conscious media with intention. And then the other thing within the media production zone is the entrepreneurship. And again, that's going to be kind of evolved as we kind of go, but that's specifically, you know, to be able to help support people who are feeling themselves called into the role of being able to think of themselves as an entrepreneur. And essentially within this context of this project, I want all of us to essentially be able to begin at least thinking about that. What would it mean if I were to be an entrepreneur? How can I be an entrepreneur to be able to share my values and to be able to help support myself? Because the fact is, we all deserve to be an entrepreneur. And the key to being an entrepreneur is to find a need and to fill it. You know, to find a need and to provide that service, to find what your gifts are and to be able to provide them and to be able to have people support. So in the same way that we've been building the Patreon for the team, as the project evolves, I'm inviting everyone here to be able to create their own Patreon. And then as you create your art, as you focus on your creation, that is a very powerful format where basically this is how we've been doing it. You know, focus on creating quality content, put it out simply for the sake of putting it out and inspiring people, and be consistent with it. And then you start inviting people to support you on Patreon. They can be people within the Paradigm Shift community already. They can be people who are just through your Instagram. But if people see this, they'll be like, oh, sweet, you know, I'm liking what they're putting out. And especially if you're putting out new videos and stuff like that. And then this is starting to build your regenerative income. But again, entrepreneurship can be way more than just Patreon. And that's where that space is just there to be able to talk about tips related to entrepreneurship. You guys can share things that have been working for you, etc., etc. The shift market, I'll just go across that real quick. Again, the shift market is a very valuable place. That's a place where we can share our art and our jewelry and our items for sale. Some people have been kind of using it just to be able to share art. That is okay. But if you are sharing specific items that you have for sale, please let people know that they are for sale. So that is like a very valuable place where, you know, you can create jewelry and you can post it in there. And as that becomes more lively, people will be like, sweet, I love that piece of jewelry. I'm going to buy that as a birthday present for someone. And so again, this is that space as a community is incredibly valuable, and I want to be able to utilize that space as a community to support each other, right? So instead of needing like a big Shopify store or something, you'll actually be able to use the shift market to be able to help sell some of your items. And in the same way, that's also how we have the tarot readings and the energy work sessions. I'm really happy to see a lot of people have been using those, and I know many of you guys have been using the tarot readings and the energy work sessions. You guys have been getting paid readings. You guys have been doing volunteer readings. And again, that's just a great place to be able to help develop those skill sets as well. And again, as an entrepreneur, being able to provide your service through tarot readings and energy work sessions, that is one option. So it's super powerful. Last things I'll just hit across. Yeah, pretty much last things. Discussions. We've already got the discussions that you guys are familiar with: the dreams, aliens, UFOs, and entities, conscious parenting, meditation, mindfulness, diet and exercise, astrology. The new ones that we've recently added are off the grid living and book club. So off the grid living, this has been a topic that a few people have requested, and it is a topic of interest. And so that is a, you know, one where I'm inviting all of us to be able to begin using it. Start posting resources about, you know, how to live off the grid. What are some good websites you can visit? What are some experiences that you've had? So for those of us who are particularly interested in that concept, this is a great place to be able to, again, just be able to discuss it. And then book club is, of course, exactly as it sounds, a place for us to be able to share some of the books that we're reading and to be able to support each other through the process of reading books, by sharing suggestions, by taking pictures of pages, by highlighting certain things and sharing quotes, by making asking questions, you know, very simple things that you would do in a book club. So that's going to be a really cool one there. And again, you know, even after this broadcast, I invite you guys to go into the book club and leave a list of like 5 books that you would recommend, you know, right there. And that's going to start creating life within that. Other things, the shift squads is something that will be a little bit more active in the near future. Shift squads, which right now are empty. You guys will see this. You'll see shift squads. There's Alpha Squad and Bravo Squad. There's going to be more squads as we go. The idea behind the shift squads, and be patient with me because this is going to unfold naturally, is basically what I am going to do is I am going to assign you guys in groups of 5, I think 5, maybe 4, 2 individual squads, where essentially you will use this squad as an accountability group, as a place to be able to help support each other. And this squad can also be used as a collaborative group to be able to work on assignments together and to be able to work on media projects. So it will be with people who maybe you've already developed a relationship with within the community. And so again, rather you can think about that how we used to do that in school, right? How we would have a classroom of 30 people, but then the teacher would divide us into groups of 4 and we would work on individual assignments as a group, right? That is what the squads are essentially for, is to be able to help focus our individual attention so things can get more concentrated. And through there, we're also developing deeper relationships. You're using your squad, and it's going to be private chats, like only the 4 people within the squad will have access to that chat to be able to just check in and to be able to, again, it'll be kind of it'll be very unique based on the individual squad, but you'll be able to use it as a place to be able to help hold each other accountable, to be able to help share your intentions. Similar to how people are already using the main chat for. Within the main chat, you know, one thing that I encourage everyone here is that every morning when you wake up, post your intentions into the main chat. Post what you're going to do today, you know? So this is kind of what we refer to as our game objectives. We wake up in the morning, we say, you know, grand rising shifters, good rising shifters, opposed to saying good morning. You're just being aware of the language there, because morning has to do with, like, you know, we're like, you mourn death, right? When you wake, you mourn death. So it's really weird that we say good morning every time, but instead a lot of us have recently been calling it rising. We were saying like good rising shifters. So just be that, if you notice people saying that, that's why. But again, use the main chat or eventually your squads to be able to share what you're working on today, to be able to check in with accountability, to be raw and honest about how you're feeling, to be able to coordinate individual voice chats. So again, you know, within Alpha Squad or Bravo Squad, there might be some people there and just be like, yeah, you know, like I could really use someone to talk to. And then someone within that squad would be like, hey, you know, like, okay, I got 15 minutes. I'm going to put my Discord on. I'm going to go for a walk and we're going to talk. And so you guys are going to kind of be like coaching each other in a very kind of like level playing field kind of way. So that is the concept of the squads. Those will become active as the project evolves based on my observation of getting to know you guys and getting a feel for you guys and getting some ideas of, like, you know, who meshes well and how we'll be able to, you know, make like squads. It's almost, again, kind of in like the context, you guys have to remember that I grew up playing hockey. I grew up being a captain for my hockey team for like numerous years. I was almost a captain pretty much almost every single year that I played hockey. And within the hockey team, you have your lines, right? So you have like 3 sets of forward lines and like 3 sets of Ds. And you would create your lines based on chemistry, right? Based on unique chemistry. And each line would be different. Some lines would be like better at goal scoring. Some lines would be better at defense. So again, that's kind of what the squads are kind of like. They're kind of like our lines that we're creating in that idea. So that'll be a really cool thing to be able to begin to see evolve. Other things, shift teams. Just hitting upon that real quick. Of course, we got our mental health team, a very important place. If at any point, you know, the mental health team, like this goes back to the origins of before we had the Discord really active and we had the individual teams. But now we've kind of like we've kind of taken the concept of the teams and we've kind of expanded it throughout the Discord chat, but some of the teams still exist, such as the mental health, social media tactics, mobile app, and reality encyclopedia teams. Mobile app team, we'll do brainstorming there as we go forward. Reality encyclopedia, that will be down the line. Social media tactics team, we've already talked about that, but mental health team is very important. I just want you guys to be able to know that the mental health team, again, it's kind of similar to the same how the squads work. We are there to be able to provide our support for each other, and we'll be able to use that space to be radically honest. And I encourage you guys, if you're feeling, you know, maybe there's some days where you're just like, wow, you know, like I need to get this out of me. I need to do a brain dump, right? Brain dumps are very important, right? Sometimes we hold a lot of emotion inside, and sometimes we just need a place to be able to just be like, hey, this is what happened today. I feel really shitty, like some really shitty stuff happened, but I'm doing my best and I'm typing it out and I'm just letting you guys know. And, you know, use the mental health chat for that. You can still share it in the main chat. Like essentially anything can go in the main chat. Just be aware of that. But the mental health team chat is a place where you guys can go if you feel you need that additional support, and if you feel you need to do a brain dump, and if you feel you need to express yourself, and also for you to be able to show up to be able to help support people as they come in there. So, you know, you're going to be expecting people to show up and be like, oh, you know, I just had a really crappy day. I would really love to be able to have someone to talk to. You can be that person who's able to just reach out and just be like, hey, you know, I'm available. If you want to talk for a bit, we can talk for a bit. So it's like, it's really powerful to start to see the you know, the concept of how community can really, you know, support each other. And there's so much value in that. So So other than that, the only other things to mention at this point, again, the mobile app team, that we already have an app. It's currently like it's limited within its quality. Down the road, we may totally recreate another mobile app. If anybody is already familiar with mobile app design, you're welcome to let me know about that. Or if even just sharing examples of mobile apps that we maybe want to utilize, that's totally cool, because there's some other mobile apps that I want to be able to share with you guys. One in particular that I'll share with you guys a little bit in the future is an app that actually lets you post like images and content, like a floating post within real world locations. So it's kind of like Pokemon Go, and I just discovered this the other day, and I've been waiting for this app, and ideally I would want to almost have a paradigm shift app that would be like Pokemon Go, but we just don't have that technology yet. So there is another app that's like made by a Japanese developer. It's totally in beta, but it's a really cool app because basically you can like walk to your park, you can hold up your camera in augmented reality, you can create a post, and imagine using this to be actually to be able to create a post where you're sharing like a piece of knowledge. You know, you're like hiding a piece of like sacred data or something like that, or you put like a story in there. And imagine if we as a team were to really start even just utilizing this app on our own, and then people in your community started using it, and then you started putting up posts in locations such as like downtown or at parks and stuff, and you tell other shifters like, hey, I put up some posts down at the park, go check them out. And then other people can kind of just have this game where they just have the fun of going out and just being like, oh sweet, here's that post that such and such put up, and then they can add their posts as well. So I'll share that link in the mobile app a little bit later, and there's like a $2 fee to be able to use it per month. But if anybody wants to be able to just check it out, you guys will be able to check it out. But again, mobile app is still, it's there, it's for discussion. Reality Encyclopedia is another part that goes back to the origins of the original website, which is basically about creating an encyclopedia that helps explain reality, which would be great for people who are new to the shift. And that is something that we'll be creating as a production team a little bit later, but it'll come after I do some upgrade on the website. But again, that will be like again, almost like a library, like an Akashic index that will give people information about, like, you know, auras, about chakras, about astral dimensions, about lucid dreaming, about DMT, about, you know, like altered states, about cymatics. And so this already exists on the website, but it's just going to be more refined as we go. So people who are looking to volunteer for the Reality Encyclopedia, you're welcome to just post in there and let me know, but that will be happening a little bit later. Other things within the chat are the regions, and again, those are places where I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to post in your region to be able to help find people where you are. So those will become more useful as we begin evolving the team map. And again, just use those region chats to be able to check in, let people know where you are. And sometimes, like, you never know, like even within the United States one, I know there's already been people who have been posting and they're just like, hey, I'm like, you know, only a couple hours from you, maybe we can meet up sometime. So again, that's pretty powerful in that sense. Let me just double check. I'm just making sure that I'm still in the weird. Okay, somebody just type in the main chat if you guys can still hear me. I'm gonna unmute your guys' microphones in a second. It's just showing me that I'm like apparently disconnected, but I don't know if I'm actually disconnected. If you guys can still hear me, you guys can still hear me. Okay, cool. I don't know why it's telling that I'm disconnected then. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much bringing everyone up to speed. Again, it sounds like a lot. It is, but it isn't at the same time. It's all pretty intuitive would be the best way to be able to describe the intention of this. And again, the context is like what helps bring the clarity. The context being that, again, you know, this is a virtual hub. This is a kingdom. This is a metaphysical spaceship for us to be able to gather as a community, for us to be able to play this game, and also simultaneously thinking of it as a conscious media production company where we show up to do work, where we show up. This is like a school, this is like a university, this is a sacred temple in that context. So other than that, the main website, again, I want to be able to invite you guys to check that out more on your own if you haven't yet. Again, that's live at paradigmshiftcentral.com. You'll need to create a profile there to be able to add your quest journals eventually. I'll be updating the main website just a little bit to kind of tailor it a little bit more with how things are flowing through the Discord. And yeah, you'll be able to see that within the next coming weeks. And Some other things, what I'm also going to do, I'm also going to create an individual page. Like I'm going to redo the landing page for paradigmshiftcentral.com. Like that's going to be really important. That way, so when people get the buttons, it will just be like much clearer for them to be able to link into the website and to link into the Discord. That's going to be some stuff I'm going to work on. I'm also going to create an individual page for the for my profile link in my Instagram, where my Instagram, when people go to my Instagram link, it will actually show them not just my videos, but it will show them community videos. It will show them recent quest journals. So again, you can kind of see the benefit there, where as my popularity grows on Instagram, it's linking people back into your content as well. And eventually what we'll be able to do is even have like a common link, which may just be the paradigmshiftcentral.com link, which other people will be able to put in their Instagram profile as well. So you guys will be able to kind of wear the badge of Paradigm Shift Central as you choose within your social media, within that shared context of like, this is helping promote each other on the team. So yeah, that's some really cool stuff. And other things within the website, there's also the randomly generated quest journals, which basically means that as people are on the website, it doesn't matter if things are chronological. There will be quest journals that could be 2 or 3 years old that are going to pop up in a feed that people will be able to see as well. So everything old is timeless. Everything, you know, is kind of beyond space and time within the context of this project, which is basically the idea. The other thing that I want to be able to mention to you guys, because I want to be able to just mention this and then we're going to get right into the chat. And I know it's been, man, us humans are so slow. We have to like use all these like mouth noises just to be able to communicate data. See, if we were AI, I would have just like sent you guys like a frequency and everyone would have got the information, but we're getting there. Nonetheless, what I want to be able to invite you guys into the idea is one thing in the future. Omega is asking, what did you use to create the website? Right now, the website is on ning.com. So again, live.paradigmshiftcentral.com. If you guys want to check that out, you can. Again, there's updates that I'm doing on it mid right now. But again, like there's still a lot of value to the website. I just need to update a few things. But I know a lot of you haven't even been on the main website, which is honestly quite hilarious because theoretically we could just function purely with the Discord, and we have been, quite frankly, for the last few months. It's just been Discord and YouTube and Instagram, which is awesome. But again, the main website gives us the benefits of creating the archive and using the quest journals and the conscious articles, and that's going to help like promote things in a different way. So the other thing that I was just going to mention, because I want to be able to get some feedback on you guys from this, I want to be able to invite people into this, is to be able to in the future, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to use our Shopify website, which is questitemshop.com, to be able to have other people's content on the Quest Item Shop that we would be able to help promote collectively as a community. And basically what this would be is that people within the community who have particular items such as jewelry and things like that would be able to, this is the model, would pay like $5 a month to essentially rent the space on the Shopify website to be able to have their items on there. And then through the regular posting that we're doing on Instagram and things like that, it would basically be a way for us to be able to help promote their products, to be able to help generate sales for them, and also to be able to help create revenue for the team by having multiple people renting a space from like the shop online. So this is kind of a very cool model that I've seen used in other places, and it's quite simple. So if there are people who, and this will happen down the road because I have a few things to do first, but basically, again, so we have a Shopify shop, questitemshop.com. Right now, it's like the shift buttons, the light guarding crystals, the shifter booster kits, and the shirts and everything like that. If you have awesome wire wrapping crystals or particular content, and you want to be able to contribute $5 a month to be able to have a space on the Shopify, and then again, I'll be promoting it, I'll help promote it through the content, and it'll be going through the main website as well. Let me know, because that would be a really cool idea. And again, if we have, you know, like 10 people on there, that's an extra, you know, like $50 a month, give or take, and that does help the team as well. So yeah, being able to help like create things in such a way that's going to be able to help encourage people to donate, encourage people to the Patreon, that of course is going to be a big part of the project moving forward as we continue to increase our monthly income for the team as well, which is going to be able to help create more revenue revenue, to be able to help afford the opportunity to be able to pay you guys for your content creation. Because again, as a company, that's really what I want to be able to do, is I really want to be able to have that model, whereas you guys are creating content, I'll be able to be like, here, you know, like here's like $30 for that awesome video that you created, or here's like $20 for that new conscious article that you created. So that'll be a really, really exciting thing to be able to move into as well. So yeah, again, I'm just reading Mander's comment. She's saying that she gets annoyed with the website. Mander's, I don't take that very personally and everything like that. I will be just kind of like doing some adjustments on the main website. But again, yeah, like I know the website is just going to be tailored a little bit, but it's working with the tech that we currently have available. But the website does have some pretty valuable resources to it. Like there's some pretty cool aspects to the website that I think stand out from other websites as well. So I think we just get annoyed by website because we're just like not used to using websites that much anymore. Like majority of us are just like on YouTube and Instagram and Discord these days, so kind of been spoiled. But websites still do have a purpose. So, but we'll get some more feedback on that as we go, as we just kind of tailor it and again work within the possibilities that we have. So with that said, thank you everyone for being able to be here and be present. And again, I really appreciate you guys just being here and supporting each other as a team. I'm just gonna switch over my webcam here for the YouTube people. Cool. Okay, so what I want to be able to do, I want to be able to just like open up microphones and be able to just like get some general feelings from you guys, to be able to hear a little bit more about what it is that, you know, how, like if you have any questions that you need me to answer as well, we can do that for the next little bit. So in fact, I would just yeah, any particular feedback or questions, I would want to be able to open that up now. So again, context-wise, global team of shifters, creating conscious media, creating paradigm shift communities, inspiring people, leading by example, being light guardians. This is a modern resurgence of the modern day light guardians, some very powerful archetypes and energy here. And yeah, this is awesome, guys. I'm really excited to be able to go deep with you guys. So awesome. All right, so let's if you got, okay, well, this is how we'll coordinate this. If somebody has something that they want to be able to say in the team chat, just type in the team chat, like, I have something to say, and then unmute yourself on the mic, because otherwise we'll have like 15 people unmuting themselves right away, which we don't necessarily need just yet, but then we can play around afterwards, and I'll just let you guys completely unmute yourself, and we'll just be able to talk, and you guys will be able to pour your hearts out as well. Okay, so Jenna, go ahead. You can unmute your microphone and go ahead. Any feedback or questions would be what we're focusing on right now. Go ahead, Jenna. And we'll give Jenna a second to unmute her microphone. So Jenna and then Shakti can go as well. So again, like feedback, gratitude, and questions would be what we're doing right now. Jenna, do you need me to unmute you? Can you unmute yourself? I'm gonna.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Go ahead, Jenna.
All right, I just want to thank you. Like everything that you've been doing, I feel like I've told you so many times. I'm going to continue to tell you, like everything that you are doing is truly amazing. Like you've brought all of us together, you know, and I can only speak for myself, but you know, I won't swallow my pride when I say that I used to be so lonely. You know, I used to feel so alone, you know, just feeling like I'm crazy, feeling like I'm insane, you know, just feeling like no one understands what I'm talking about. And you really, in creating this community, have inspired me, and I'm sure everyone else, to have that love. You know, there is absolutely nothing that I feel I can't say. You know, this really is my family.
Awesome.
And it's crazy because I talk to you guys more than I talk to anyone. Like, truth be told, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys can feel the same. But you know, I love you, and I love everybody in this. You know, thank you for putting up with all my insanity, bad jokes.
I appreciate all your bad jokes.
Who's laughing at me?
Mander's laughing at you. I don't know.
It's
laughing with you, Jenna.
Yeah, thank you.
No, that's awesome, Jenna. I really appreciate it. And again, you know, like within everything that I've explained, yeah, like I said, guys, like this is a team, this is a tribe, this is a family. No one is here by accident. No one is here because they're being forced to be here. Everybody is here because they are resonating with the story that we are creating, with the context, with the vibration that we have here as a tribe, as a community. And so I just want to remind you guys that each of us here, like, plays the role. Like, we are equal here. Like, everyone here is equal. Like, yeah, I'm facilitating and stuff like that, but like, there will come a time when I won't be here and you guys will be able to continue this project without me, like, because you'll be able to understand how the context works. But I just want to be able to remind you that as new people are joining the team Discord chat and are connecting to the project, that and I've already been seeing this, and I'm saying this because I'm happy to see it and I'm applauding it, but welcome people. That is so powerful. Give them an idea of what it is that they are stepping into. Because again, like, for example, last Friday, quick shiftivism report, I spent the time downtown doing, like, I had my satchel with my shift buttons on it, and I literally had the intention to go downtown to seek out meaningful interactions using my shiftivism tactics. That was literally what I did. So what I did, there was like a music event that was happening, and there were people out front, like, kind of just like, half drunk, smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like standing there, just kind of like being a ninja. And then when the opportunity was right, I was just like going up to them. I was just like, here, like, have a shift button. They're like, here, you guys can have a magic button. And right away it breaks the ice, right? And so again, like, even from there, and it was really cool because that happened. I had some cool interactions there. But then I was walking home, and a person came up to me, and they were just like, hey, nice board. And I was like, thanks, man. And I was like, hey, dude, like, do you want a button? And he was like, oh, cool. And he was like, and he recognized it. He's like, yo, that's like the Triforce from Legend of Zelda. And I was like, yeah, man, here, you can go ahead and have it. Check the website. There's a team Discord. He already knew what Discord was. Go ahead and check it out. That person has been in the Discord. And so that's like a local person within the community. And again, so that's just an example where, as you guys are getting your shifter booster kits, which I still have a lot to be able to send out. And again, huge shout out to the Patreon supporters. And as you guys get your shifter booster kits and you guys are giving shift buttons to people, just think about what it is that you're inviting them to. Just think about that idea that, you're giving this thing to a stranger, but then you're inviting them in as a family. And we are inviting them in as a family. So it's like, that's such a powerful idea, because, like, yeah, it's happened numerous times already, but it will continue to happen more and more and more. And like, that's going to be such a powerful thing as more people are just kind of like coming into this community. And the most important thing that we have is the foundation that we are creating, because there are thousands of Discord channels already that are just entire shit shows, quite frankly. Whereas with us, we're a shift show, which is a completely different thing because it's a good thing, right? So, but yeah, just encouraging and reminding you guys that as people come in, welcome them, bring them into the family, just give them a feel for what it is that they're being a part of, So this is like a virtual playground. It's like a festival in here, but it's also like a workspace. It's a tribe. It's a temple. It's a kingdom with different locations. And that's where, and it's a ship with different rooms. So as you go through the Discord, you're literally going into the different chats as you're entering into the different parts of the kingdom. So you're like, oh, this is the part of the kingdom where I'm going to be working on video editing. Oh, this is the part of the kingdom where I'm going to be talking about dreams. So again, eventually it will get to the point where we'll be playing like virtual reality. And I've already been looking into Second Life, and if some of you want to join me in Second Life, you're welcome with that. We can play around with that sometime. But again, I mean, in the future, we will have the virtual reality space where we'll actually be able to like engage in this virtual reality type of format that we're already mimicking through the Discord. Anyways, Jenna, thank you again for sharing. So shift shows. Jeez. Okay, Jenna, was there anything else you liked? Okay,
it's Shakti.
Shakti. Okay, we'll pass the talking stick over to Shakti. That's totally, Jenna, thank you again. Shakti, go ahead. And you've recently joined, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. Well, welcome.
Been in here for probably less than a week now.
Awesome.
And I also just wanted to get onto the lines of gratitude. I feel like I just received a lot of really great information about how to utilize these tools better. Feeling very inspired as I have been creating community here locally as well. And I just wanted to point out your wisdom, Skull Babylon, on this very wise move to build the model as, yes, a family and a community, but also as a divine mission as well as a company. So kind of really crossing your T's and dotting your I's there in how you're kind of scaffolding these foundational structures, just so that, as you said, you could hypothetically just step away, and hopefully down the road, if you were to do that, then somebody could help take it over. So I just want to commend you on this groundwork that you've, I'm sure, been doing for quite some time, but just coming in from, this new perspective of me, just really, I can notice that just from this time. So thank you for doing this work. Namaste.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Shakti. And yeah, again, with all the people here, I'm looking forward to being able to get to know everyone here on like those personal levels where I'm finding out, like what your story is, what your skill sets are. And again, this will be things that I'll learn as I'm reading through the chats. And quite frankly, I'm not always reading every single thing that comes through the chat because, there's just so much. But, for yourself, Shakti, I'm looking forward to hearing about your community involvement, what you've already been accomplishing, what you have to share, what wisdom you have to bring, because it's so like, yeah. And it trips me out, honestly, guys. Like when I step back sometimes and I just kind of like take myself out of the fact that I'm Brendon, and I just kind of like, remove myself from that ego, like not in a negative ego sense, but just an identity sense. And I'm like, holy shit, like what have I been creating? Like, what have I done? Like, what is this? And I'm just like, it's fucking awesome. Like, it's so fucking awesome. Like, this is exactly like, this has been the intention. But again, it's been years. It's been the technology becoming available. It's been consistency. It's been story. It's been, just like integrity. And it's just been like that invitation for people to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I think that is the powerful thing. We are past, we cannot spend time anymore, just like bickering back and forth about this belief or that belief. We are here with the intention to be able to educate, share knowledge, and learn. But beyond that, we are here to focus our intention towards those like affirmative actions that are actually changing the reality of others, and this is where you get out there and you do the physical interaction, you create the community. So again, it's like every single shifter here, through creating a paradigm shift community, through creating your conscious media online, by building your own brand as yourself, every shifter here has the ability to reach thousands, if not 10,000s, if not hundreds of thousands of people. So based on that formula alone, that is the power of this team, is that we don't need like this Discord wouldn't function if we had it with 10,000 people in it, right? So we need a small team. But what I've said before is like, I like to think of us as a team as kind of being like an elite spiritual task force who's getting our boots on the ground. Like we are the ones who are going to be downtown doing free hugs. We are the ones who are going to be organizing our community meetups. Like we are the ones who are going to be like creating those like posts that are going to be a pattern interrupt to be able to get people to think different, like people are looking for that. They're thirsty for that. And like, it's happening, and it's going to be something that will continue to naturally unfold over time. And like, that's kind of the beauty of this, is that this is a slow and steady process. Some things happen fast, but a paradigm shift community, for example, it's something that it takes place over months and it takes place over years, but it changes your life and it connects you with your soul tribe. It connects you with the people. And again, like this is either something you can do physically where you are, or you can do it while you're traveling. Like there's so many opportunities. And every shifter has their own unique story, and the idea of being able to share our stories through our quest journals and everything like that, it's really, really, really powerful. So Shakti, thank you again. I look forward to being able to chat more even outside this broadcast. And again, we'll definitely be having more time just to be able to get more coordinated on what people's skill sets are and how they're looking to be able to contribute. And yeah, it'll be awesome. So all right. Was there somebody else who was looking to be able to just jump in again, either just feedback, gratitude, questions? That's cool. Okay. So, Love, how do you pronounce your name? Love Donio?
Donio. Yeah,
Donio?
Donio.
Okay, cool. Donio, you're fairly new as well, so welcome aboard as well, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, big gratitude for all the info. Key points that I loved, the workout space, I'm calling them ascension journals. I think quest journals was the term. And let's see, there was one. There was, oh, that's right. The live feeds. Yeah, big props to all the work you're doing, and I really love those three things. I just want to say I'm really looking forward to working with people. I'm a Capricorn ascendant, so I like to work.
Nice.
And one thing that I've really envisioned in dreams is a place where people could easily share workload on certain projects, like making splash pages or doing like content on videos, like video editing, which takes a lot of time and could easily be split up. Or maybe even doing things like sharing voice clips and things of that nature, just splitting work. So I really like that idea. I think there's a lot of space for that here. So thank you once again. Awesome. And I'm happy to join.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, man. I appreciate, again, what you and everyone else is bringing to the team. And like, that's the beauty of it. Like, a lot of us already have some wicked skill sets already available. And so like, if we're like channeling that and some, you know, with intention, like, because I'll just kind of give you guys a visualization that I've kind of used before, is that I talk about this idea of thinking of Paradigm Shift Central as being like a ship, like being like a metaphysical spaceship that's flying through space. In that context, you can think of media as being like ammunition to be able to help fire love lasers out into the galaxy. So essentially on the ship, like that is what it's created for. It's created with like these like cannons, these like love cannons, and we load it up with our media content. And then we send out a message, you know, like the medium is the message. Like that idea is so powerful. And that's where, again, I've seen that before, where some people have had this awesome content, but it's like barely reaching anyone, you know, algorithms these days. What's up with that? So when we collaborate and we create like a shared network, that is when we're kind of like taking the power back into our hands. And again, you know, we're creating conscious media that has the potential, that is created with intention to go viral. Like that will be some things that we'll be actually doing, is that we'll be working together as a team to be able to create media that is made with the intention to go viral. And we will work and we will work as a team. You know, we could spend an entire evening one night to be like, sweet, here's this awesome video that either someone made or a part of us collaborated on. And we're going to spend the evening as a social media tactics team helping get this video viral. And we'll figure that out. We'll figure out the tactics behind that. We'll get coordinated on that. And yeah, and again, like it's those ideas, it's those messages. Like I got so many videos that I still have yet to make. And the only reason I haven't made them yet is because I've been focusing on the other parts of the project, such as the foundations for this. And as that's in place, what I'm looking forward to is the freedom for me to be able to just like spend a little bit more time focusing on some super badass videos that I personally got in mind that can literally like change lives. You know, like I want to do, like you guys have seen the one, like the awakening within the matrix in 5 minutes. I want to make more videos where it's basically getting into you know, some super shifty inspirational ideas within like a 2-minute video, or even like a 1-minute video, you know, focusing on like the Instagram market type thing. And that's possible, right? Like how can we condense like a super powerful idea into like a 1-minute video, and then you just like focus on that, and like boom, like what happens if like that goes viral? Not only does it inspire people, but it can also be a way and an invitation to invite them back to this project, which again invites them into the role of being a shifter, which potentially invites them into creating a physical paradigm shift community. So now you can start to see where the ripple effect, because it's not just about reaching people. It's about inviting them back here and inviting them to get involved and inviting them into the natural path that they're already on to create a physical paradigm shift community if they choose. So you can kind of see like this is like, again, creating new realities, aligning with new timelines, hacking the matrix. That's why we keep using these terms. So Donio, thank you again. Okay, who would like to say something next? There might have been somebody who, if someone wants to, okay, Actualist, go ahead. That's totally cool. I was gonna say anyone can just unmute themselves. Actualist, go ahead, man. And thank you for being here, dude. I think you might need to check your mute on your end, dude. I'm not hearing anything. And if someone wants to let me know who wants to go next, that's cool. And then after that, we can just kind of like open up into just kind of free flow chat, and then we'll kind of wrap up the broadcast. But then you guys can just keep hanging out after And I want to be able to get some people synced up with the team map. I want to be able to show you guys afterwards, after the broadcast. We'll start getting the team map hooked up. Yeah, Actualist, I can't hear you right now, man. So you might need to join and rejoin. So if somebody else wants to unmute themselves, Manders, go ahead. And then if Actualist jumps back in, we'll let him go. So Manders, go ahead. And Manders, you might not. Why am I not hearing Manders now? Actualist, go ahead. I know you guys can hear me, but I'm not hearing you. So, which is unusual because everybody else's mic was working. So Manders, maybe just check your audio on your end. Somebody else just wants to double check, make sure that there's no glitch and people are still able to talk. Please.
Yo.
Josh, I can hear you. That's good. All right, thanks, Josh. Manders, I'm not sure why it's not working. Actually, I'm not sure not sure why it's working. But if somebody else wants to go next, please feel free. Josh, you're welcome to go next. So.
Yeah, I'll say a little something, I guess.
Cool. Go for it, man.
Yeah, when I first kind of came into this little community, I knew there was a really big, really powerful intention going on between you and just the whole world in general. And I've kind of had that. I've had that intention cross my mind like a year or two back, but I never really initiated. And just everything you're doing, all the stuff you say, it's so inspirational to want to, like the whole visualization with the ship shooting love lasers, like that's so powerful that, you know, like it's crazy the power that visualizations hold to get a message out there. And the more that you put your intention out there to want to help others, the more ideas that will flow into you. And this is essentially, you know, it's available to everyone as long as they hold a pure intention of wanting to help others, wanting to create a community. Like I've recently just put the intention out there that I want to serve others within like the last day or two, because that's what this is all about. It's about going within ourselves, but also going out to other people. And so I've been working with, you know, energy work and all this cool stuff. I got another healing therapies Bible book that I'm kind of reading into, but I don't know, I've felt a little stuck lately until I listen to one of these, or I listen to one of your meditations. You know, it puts it all into perspective. And I just want to thank you for facilitating and being one, and just kind of helping everyone that actually listens to find themselves, you know, to find something within themselves, because it's not just about you. It's not just about me. It's about helping everybody else. And I think that's just so amazing. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Totally, man. Awesome. Thank you for verbalizing that. Yes, actually, so we'll get the talking stick over to you in a second. So yeah, Josh, thank you, man. And absolutely, again, you know, like a core aspect of this whole story is inspiration, right? And so for those of you who are here, I assume that in some way the content that you've come across that led you here, be it mine or somebody else's somehow or another, inspired you. And so like just think about what that felt like. And then just think about how you inspiring others is you giving them something. It's you providing them of service. It's you leading by example. So again, like, yeah, I'm here, like, as this project evolves, like, I want to be held accountable to that role of being able to be like a friend, to be like a coach, to be a mentor, to be a teammate with you guys, and with, you know, the people through my Instagram who I'll also be like broadcasting to as well. But again, just reflect on how powerful that inspiration is, and how in the same way I've inspired you, you can inspire others. You know, you can inspire others through your local action. You can inspire others literally just by standing there with the free hug signs. Like, that is so powerful, right? And you can inspire others by creating your physical paradigm shift community meetups. So powerful. So, okay, we're going to keep moving along. I know Manders' battery is about to die. I want to check in with Manders first, and then we'll check in with Actualist. Manders, go ahead and just unmute yourself before your battery dies, if you're still there, and then Actualist, and then we'll pass it to think Justin wants to say something. Manders, go ahead. Manders, I think your microphone must not be plugged in or something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Oh, weird. Okay, all I did, well, I restarted the app, but I also just unplugged my microphone and then I plugged it back in.
Okay,
So
cool. Go ahead, Manders.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Just letting you guys know, if you guys have problems going forward, maybe try that.
Right.
A little troubleshooting. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on how I've been watching this project for years now, and I feel like things have just blown up in the last I don't even know, 6 months or whatever. I don't even know. But I'm watching you, and I'm just, like you said, I'm like really in awe of what you've created. And it's really exciting because like you're able to step away, and like we don't even see you sometimes. I mean, you come in and out, but like we don't even actually see you for days sometimes, because you do like the tarot reading, or you do the meditation, or you do the weekly broadcast. But like really, like we're all a community now, and this is all brought into fruition because you put that intention out there. And when you just said that, it was funny because I was sitting here going like, how am I gonna like explain this about how like excited I am that we're all together, and that things have come to where they've become. And I was like, how do I actually put that all together? And then he said that, and I was like, yeah, basically, like you put that intention out there, and you put that beacon out there, and you are, leading this spaceship or whatever. And it's funny because we even have dreams about this. Like, like you've read like what some of us have talked about with our dreams and stuff. And it's become, like way beyond anything I ever imagined. Like I was buying light guardian crystals a few years ago, and it was just like, oh, this is cool. Like had no idea that now I'm also doing readings and getting paid for them and things like that. Yeah, and like, awesome. I had no idea that here we are. Like I'm just you guys, I'm just wow. Like here we are. This is really cool, and I love you all, and I'm just so happy that we've all been brought together in the same realm of intention or whatever. It's beautiful. I'm just so in awe of all of us. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah.
I love
too.
You all.
Me too. Totally.
And Brendon, I'm really proud of you. Like, I know you probably hear it, but like, I've just got to tell you, like, from where I started with you, I'm just like, wow. Like, I had no idea we were gonna come this far. Like, we did it. We're doing it. We're really doing it. It's really amazing.
Thank you, Manders, and still got plenty more ahead too. Like,
God, I can't even imagine where we're gonna go from here. Like, wow, this is. I mean, it's like a dream come true. Thank you.
No, thank you too, Manders. I appreciate it. Yeah, like everybody here who's here again. Like, I just thank you guys so much for being here. And as Manders was saying, there are times where. I'm on the Discord every day, but I'm always not engaging. And if I'm not engaging, I'm usually working on stuff or I'm busy with other things. But again, I'm very proud of the idea that I know that you guys are capable of facilitating yourselves. And that comes with the shared context of what it is that we have here together. That comes with the respect that we have for each other and for the space, So it's really, really cool to see like what happens as community, So it's just kind of it takes a person to kind of create a space and to get things moving, but once it starts moving, the organism governs itself. So yeah, just within the context of the chat and everything like that, I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go. And yeah, I'm very proud of everyone here. So okay, thank you again, Vanders. All right, Actualist, you wanted to go next, and then Justin, and then if there's a couple other people, that's cool, and then we'll probably wrap it up shortly. Actualist, go ahead, dude.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Everyone? Hello?
It's
Yeah, brother, I
yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because of me using a screen recorder, that's why it gone. I'm thinking
Okay.
that you can actually hear everybody at the same time. But I'm really sorry about that. But
It's all good.
yeah, this is all new to me. I thank Summer Dawn for inviting me to this chat. Me being reluctant at first because of the name Discord. I'm like, why name something Discord when I'm about Accord? So I'm thinking like maybe it could be some Illuminati trick or something. But now I discovered that this is like one of the best chats I've ever been on. Of
Mm-hmm.
all chats I've been through. And it's like we really trying to come together and share our different ways of seeing things. And I'm just wondering, like, are we taking it to the level where we can actually meet each other in person, Brandon?
Yeah,
Are you
totally.
trying to that level?
Again, that's where, you guys have the power to be able to coordinate that without me having to give you the permission. So using the region chats and using the team map as we start building it, you guys will have the potential to be able to coordinate meeting each other. Like some of you guys are already closer than in person than I might be to you. So if there's going to be like a paradigm shift festival in the future, there could be
something like that.
There could be like a
We can
meetup
make
or
like
something
a nice
like that.
video together.
Yeah, they're well, part of what has always been an intention for quite some time has been for me to embark on like a paradigm shift tour, like a paradigm shift love tour was kind of what we called it. That will come down the road as like the Patreon builds and the regular income's a little bit more consistent. And from there, part of the idea would be for me to like travel using the team map to go to visit your locations, to go to the paradigm shift meetups that you guys are coordinating, to do free hugs with you guys, to document it, and then to kind of like travel the United States and to be able to like meet up with you guys in person. So that is like one idea that I'm looking forward to, because that seed has been planted from quite some time ago. But yeah, absolutely, if you guys are in a position where you want to be able to coordinate meeting up with other people that you meet here, you are all responsible adults and you're all capable of doing that. And at the same time, it is encouraged to be able to join forces if you happen to be in the same location. Like obviously if you're in the same city, then heck yeah, like join forces and create like a physical paradigm shift meetup together. Let's be like, sweet, let's start looking for a location. Let's like start doing some promotion and things like that. I'll take care of this, you take care of that. Like coordinate, collaborate. Like you guys have that ability. So yeah, but yeah, actually, let's go ahead.
Hugs are very good for the immune system. They actually
Yes,
do
sir.
something.
Yes.
And we can let people know that, like, hey, you want your immune system to get better? Hey, let's hug.
Totally. Yeah, that's
even laughter. We can let them know about laughter. Laughter is very
exactly.
therapeutic. We do some laughter tickle sessions or whatever.
With consent is always the most important thing. So
I think most people know me in here already. Like what I do, I get out the actuality. Like there's reality. Reality is the 3D or what most people agree to, and up to like five senses, and then actuality is the cause of reality beyond five senses. And it's being aware that life is just a balancing act, and we are actors, and God is acting. All is God. So that's what I'm bringing to this. I'm trying to let people know how God truly is. Why I use the word God. God is actually a symbol. God is all shapes. God is a geometrist, a design.
Yeah.
So
man.
I'm trying to help people get beyond just their own reality way of seeing things, how we can just flow with actuality, just like how we doing. We just letting the chat or the conversations flow naturally. Sometimes we don't need a topic, we just let it go, see where it goes,
Totally.
So yeah, I definitely want to see more of this. And anyone have, if you have any questions for me?
Oh,
you're doubtful about actuality or whatever, just let me know.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to express my gratitude because I know over the past couple of weeks you've been quite active within the chat, and you've been posting a lot of videos, a lot which I still have to check out. And again, we're going to help tailor and, you know, feature those for more of a wider audience. But I've been seeing some great conversations going back between like, I know shout out to Josh, Anonymous, or sorry, not Josh, is it Joshua? I think, because there's Josh and there's Joshua. Sorry, I don't always know your guys' first names all the time. Jordan, no, is it Jordan? Anonymous, what's your name? What's your first name? I'm embarrassing myself here if you want to unmute yourself. But anyways, you guys know who I'm talking about because you guys have been chatting as well as many other people.
It's Jacob.
Jacob, thank you, man. See, this is why I need your guys' help. Anyways, between and Josh, you know, and everybody here, Justin, and so many people, you guys have been having some great conversations going back and forth within the live chat, and you know, I really appreciate that as well. So again, you know, within the context of live chat, it's like it's all just practice, and it's not just practice explaining yourself, but it's practice listening, it's practice observing. Because again, you know, the fact is that like the basic way how I see this whole paradigm shift is that, you know, we're kind of at the point where like each of us, spirituality is going to be a unique thing for everyone. It is not going to be a consistent thing across the board. And the basic visual model that I encourage us to keep in mind is the idea that like it's like wheels on a spoke. And so at the circle in the middle, like that's truth. Let's just say that is absolute truth. That is the actualist truth, so to speak. And then we are like this wheel that goes around it with all these spokes kind of like looking inwards to be able to have different perspectives on it. So, you know, just keeping that in mind. So just one thing that I will just say within the context here, and this is nothing that I'm only saying it just to be able to communicate it, because I've seen it come up, not in our chat, but in like other chats, being a community facilitator. One thing here within the context of a community is be aware if you ever even unconsciously find yourself projecting your beliefs like onto others. Like that is one thing that we want to be mindful here, is that we are not in a place where we're trying to like enforce our beliefs on someone else, right? So it's always like kind of like having that respect where it's just like, hey, this is what I believe,
or,
you know,
putting
it on the chat. Yeah,
actually,
even
I
that.
only speak truth. I don't speak beliefs. You know, it's
So
you can say truth or beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I've been feeling really good about, you know, just everyone being very respectful. And again, it's all just information. Just think for yourself, right? So it's just piecing together parts of the puzzle, and all of us got some very exciting pieces to be able to bring to the table. So yeah, actually, we'll pass the talking stick over. Justin wanted to say something next. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Actually,
right. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
Keep going.
I appreciate you being here. And dude, like again, I've only watched some of your videos, but I know like you've been creating some really legit like content on video wise. So again, thank you for helping lead by example on that, because you're just kind of like showing like what can be created. So I'm looking forward to like more people being able to see your videos as like inspiration for them to be able to help create their own videos as well. So thank you, man.
Right, man. Wonderful.
Awesome. Sweet. All right. Well, we'll keep passing talking stick around again, just focusing in on like feedback, questions, gratitude. And if anybody else wants to go after Justin, that's totally cool. Justin, you're on the mic. You're on the talking stick. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Namaste. And catch out Akeem to my family. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We are good.
Yeah, brother. Love you.
Hey, what's going on? So I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And I wanted to, you know, again, you know, Mystic, Spider-Man, Skull Babylon, Wolf Shield, all the many names that you carry. Much love and gratitude to you, brother.
Thank you, man.
You know, it's just really interesting. Like, you know, what you're doing is exactly everything I had envisioned in my head. And then I personally believe that I manifested connecting with you.
Yeah.
And when I really, you know, started to see what it is that you were doing, it just more and more resonated with my spirit, because, you know, you're doing it, and to be a part of that is like me fulfilling my divine purpose. And since, you know, really getting serious with the group after 11/11, and I know everybody, you know, everything shifted for me in my life after that. I experienced amazing, phenomenal shifts in consciousness and reality. I mean, I changed my name, all kinds of different things that I did. And ever since then, my life has just been just one synchronicity after the other. I literally am living in a different world amongst people that are still asleep. And, you know, I also appreciate, you know, what you had said about the beliefs and everything. And one of the things that I have really become aware of is that the amount of people that will project their opinions off to others as absolute truth. This is something that everybody does everywhere I go. And it's just something that everybody does. And I never really noticed it until I started really waking up. And I used to do it as well, of course. But now I make sure that I go out of my way to give a disclaimer to let everybody know, like, everything that I'm saying and everything I share is just my opinion based off of years of research and my own personalized experiences. Do not believe anything I say. Go look it up for themselves and draw their own conclusions from that. And I feel like it's really important because it is just opinion. You know, no one can really prove anything that they're saying unless you're physically there with that person. So if, you know, anything outside, in my opinion, the 12 universal laws, which, you know, happen regardless of what people believe or not, they still are absolute. But outside of that, it's all just opinion anyway. So it's just kind of like, you know, respecting everybody's opinions, like you said, and not trying to pass off our belief systems onto somebody else unless they are, you know, choosing to align with that school of thought that we hold fast to as an individual. But I believe and I know that this community is destined to do great and massive things, man. You know, I've been a part of some other conscious communities, and this one is very different and unique. It is very special. You know, the love is definitely a contributing factor. You know, the genuineness of the community, of the people in the community, all those things, man. And just, you know, we're all coming together. We all attracted each other, manifested each other because we're all seeking the same thing. And that's just to be connected with people that understand us. You know, being a part of this community has helped me tremendously. I have soul family now that I did not have before. You know, besides people in my immediate circle, I'm really, you know, there's some that are you know, different stages in their awakening process, but I am, you know, further along in the process, just at a different level as far as vibrating, you know, different channel, as I would say, since we're not like higher than another, it's just a different frequency. Yeah. And so I know that as everybody goes on their journey, they're going through different channels and frequencies, and just to be able to connect with other people, I've made some really close relationships with some people, and here have become like really close friends of mine and family and brothers, and you know, I appreciate that, you know, and it's just it's a beautiful thing, man, and I'm really excited about what is going to be happening very quickly. Things are really going to start to change here within these next 2 years. And I don't think everybody really fully even is really aware of how powerful it is to be a part of this paradigm shifter central community, man. It is really, really powerful. Yeah. There's so many things that we're going to be able to do collectively, man. It's just we are changing the world, you know, and I think everybody should really know that. It's we all have fun, but yeah, like there's some serious you know, work that we're going to be doing, you know, and it's exciting. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I did have a question.
Yes, go for it.
About like if there's artwork that we have that we want to contribute to become like a shifter button. Is there a specific avenue to do that? And Does it get like voted in, or do you just decide? How does that work?
That can even be something that you can just send to me with a direct message. And that's worth mentioning, because like in the future, like that will be something where we've already done this, where we're implementing community art into the shift buttons. And so yeah, like in the future, for those of us who have art that they would like to be able to contribute that like fits what we're looking for, yeah, definitely you can send me a DM with that. And it'll be kind of like a slow and steady process, because we would be like kind of like releasing new designs through phases and things like that. It'd be like editions that would be kind of coming out with new designs. But absolutely, man, if there's art that you have, or anybody else that you guys would feel would work with the intentions of what the buttons are created for, which again is about having like consciousness shifting imagery on them, like obviously like sacred symbols, mandalas, or something that would evoke a conversation topic, those would be great for shift buttons. So yeah, you can always just send me a message directly, would be fine for that. So that's cool.
Awesome, man.
Sweet.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome, dude. Thank you as well, man. So yeah, and again, man, like with you know, Justin just kind of reflecting on the gratitude there, I think it's so powerful when we all just do kind of, you know, take that moment to kind of step back. And, you know, we've talked about this before. We talk about synchronicity. We talk about the idea of like time not being linear. And it's very, very powerful to think that, you know, the people who are here right now in this broadcast, in this Discord chat, like we have all come here because we were meant to be here. You know, like this was our destiny to be able to find each other. And for me, in the same way, I want it for you to be able to think about the same way of the way how I felt about it. You know, that has always been a motivating force for why I do the work that I do. Even going back to when I started it in a college back in the day, you know, I created it as a single group. And basically I knew then, I'm like, okay, if I create, you know, it's the whole idea, if you create it, they will come. But it's the idea that as I create this group, there are certain people who are already like attending it in the future, but they just haven't found it yet because I haven't created it yet. So it's like you already think about it in the future. And this is where, again, I want you guys to think about this. Think about how you doing free hugs and you creating your physical paradigm shift community is aligning with the timelines where there are certain people who are a part of your soul tribe, your local soul tribe, who you have just yet to meet. But you are the initiator element. You are the portal. You create the space that brings them together, you know, because it's lo and behold, there could be people who are in your community and maybe they've like always been around the corner from you. And maybe you just haven't run into them at the right time. But then when you create that gathering point, when you create that central location, when you be that central location doing things like free hugs, it brings them. It has a gravitational field. It creates like a vortex, which brings people into that place. And then again, you think about how the same way this community is making you feel. You're just like, wow, you know, like this is family. This is something that I didn't even know I was missing until I found it type thing. Or maybe I did know it was missing sort of thing. A lot of people, you know, they're in different phases of it. But just think about how this community makes you feel and how you acting as an extension of it allows other people to feel that. Like I've always said, you know, you want to be able to do what you're doing because you know that there's like that one person out there. There's more than one, but just think about that one person out there who is just like, oh my God, like I wish I had people to talk to about Sasquatch. I just wish I did, right? Like, oh, I just need someone to talk to about Sasquatch so bad, right? So like you help invite them into that space where you can be that person. And then again, it's not just you, it's the other people. It's they meet other people. Like the fact that I know Paradigm Shift has like a destiny to it. There's a destiny to the events that take place in it, because there have been like people within the Paradigm Shift community locally where I've been that have had like romantic encounters out of it. You know, like people who have like met through Paradigm Shift like ended up being partners and stuff like that, right? Like as we've talked about before, you know, if you're crossing paths with a partner, there's like a soul destiny thing that's happening there. There's always a lesson and stuff. And so it's like, wow, okay, cool. Like maybe they would have met in another way, but it's just like how do I feel about the idea that my action somehow brought their destiny into path, right? It's like, whoa, what? And it's not like you're claiming anything of it. It's just you're playing a part. You're playing a part in a bigger story, and you are humbled by that. And as you go out there and start taking actions and you start looking for the places to have your meetings and you start doing those, you'll see that. you'll see the impact that it has on other people's lives. So again, over the past several months, a lot of us here have really been engaging within the Discord chat, and that's been great because it's been creating connections, it's been creating foundation. But again, for everyone here, I'm constantly encouraging and inviting you to really think about, just find that location to have a meeting. Think about what it would be like to facilitate a discussion. Take example from other people's leads. Like, Turner, he's got his meetings coming up soon. If Turner can do it, you can do it, right? Like, shout out to Turner, he's awesome, right? So again, just keep that in mind, and notice what it makes you feel like if you are even a bit nervous about creating a community meetup. Notice how it makes you feel nervous yet excited at the same time, because I've always kind of felt that even with doing something like free hugs, I've always kind of associated with this feeling of like jumping out of a plane. It's always kind of felt like that, where like some days you're just like, I don't want to do it. You're just like, I don't want to do it. You're just like, it's comfortable here in this plane. It's safer, right? Like, it's scary out there. But then you do it, and it's just like this life that gets brought into you, and it's this excitement that opens up, and you're just like, oh my God, that was, there's like an adrenaline release that kind of comes out of it, and you're just like, holy crap, like this is the game. And then you realize, like, this is the game. This is the game I'm playing. This is the game of the interactions that I'm creating, the conversations that I'm having, the seeds that I'm planting, the difference that I'm making in other people's lives, right? So again, and that's where you don't know the impact that will have on that other person. You don't know how maybe that person, their involvement with your local community and also online, that could drastically change their entire reality, in the same way perhaps it's already changed yours, right? So it's kind of like this opening up a door type thing. So again, yeah, just super awesome stuff. Okay, let's check in. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share on mic? And then we'll wrap this up pretty soon. We'll kind of, I'll create like a few moments at the end where we can all just unmute our mics and you guys can just like talk about stuff for a bit, and that's really cool. All right, Omega, you got something to say? Omega, go ahead, man. Passing the talking stick over to you. And dude, thank you for being involved, because you've been in here for probably like a month now. So thank you, man. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I think it's like a good time to actually start showing up more. And I haven't actually given a real like an introduction to myself, but I haven't been in the chat that much. But of course, I've been traveling through many groups everywhere. Of course, I move around people in general in person, so I haven't really used the social media as much as the work that I do outside of here. But I think ultimately it's good to relay to people that where I come from is a place that it's well, if you could understand it in terms of words, it's the future of futures, and I have full memory of this. But coming here, what I'm doing is actually enacting involvement with people, so I can figure out what how to create new, make sure that we all actually ascend through this process. I'm an open person, so I don't have what you would call a bias. For the most part, my ultimate reason for being here is because I'm bored. I've been at places through, if you can think of every galaxy or every existence that you can think of, imagine, but it hasn't actually come together fully. So this is something that I stem from. And coming here, revolving around individuals, no matter what depiction, I found that we were fighting too much. We were trying to prove something, almost trying to win, when I felt like the goal was to actually just play. Of course, we got to figure out what that intent and that desire may be, and that's sort of what I'm around for. The things that I come from stem from a place that's very, it may come off dark, but I want to, harness that I have a real open heart for everything in all of existence. It's the only reason why my demeanor may come off very, very, rough, if anything. But ultimately, I do have a really open aspect of everything that I want to share. Most importantly, I'm open to what everybody's going through. I want to learn more about what anybody's way of living or decision, their beliefs, because that helps me remember a little bit more of how things connect.
Yeah.
My goal is, well, a simple goal is obviously wholeness, but I wanted to make sure that people understood what that actually meant, just from my perception. But I would say I think it's a good thing what you're doing. I think you're doing pretty well with the aspects of bringing, monitoring, articulating like your messages and the things that you're doing. I sort of link through. I travel to basically different tribes. That's what I've been doing for infinity. This is my third life here, and I'm just remembering how to even speak and articulate things to people, to be honest. But I've been doing pretty well for the most part. Yeah, I guess that's a really basic idea of what I'm about. But if you want to understand it, it's something that you have to play with. We have to experience together. So that's what I'm here for.
Cool, man. Awesome, dude. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you being here, man. And I would love to, give the opportunity. I would love to hear more about your story, given the opportunity. And yeah, it's cool, man. And yeah, and I know like you found us from me posting in the Secret Energy Discord chat, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. And so again, like Secret Energy is right now the only other conscious community that has a similar kind of thing going on to what we are doing, but even still it's quite different, and so each one kind of has like its own flavor to it. One of the things that's different, and again, this is not like a judgment or anything, because I think Secret Energy is incredibly amazing, and secretenergy.com, check them out. Like Seven Bomar is a friggin' conscious leader on its own way, but they have a lot more people. It's just a fact of the numbers and stuff like that, whereas like we have a more smaller group for now. So again, for everybody here who's like choosing to be involved, like I've said this kind of in different ways before, but like we are the vanguard, like we are setting the mood, we are setting the momentum, we are setting the foundations, and that's like really powerful. And again, and I think like the key thing that makes Paradigm Shift kind of unique in its ways is its accessibility. Is the fact that the team Patreon is something people can join if they are able to, but everything here people can join regardless of monetary compensation, and the fact that it is quite simple. Like the concept in itself is actually quite simple, and then within that simplicity it creates like more dynamic complexity and stuff like that. But yeah, man. But yeah, dude, I'd be looking forward to, being able to co-create some more stuff with you. You got some music tracks that you've been creating, and I know you got a lot of awesome insight. So, even just like, yeah, I'd love to be able to talk more outside of the broadcast on just like what you feel you'd be wanting to contribute to in terms of creating conscious media and stuff, and how we can collaborate. So.
True. Lots of ideas. An infinite amount, actually.
That's the beauty of it, right? Like that's like there's no limit to the amount of media that we can create. Like art is what this world needs. Terrence McKenna talks about that, like the role of the artist, like that should be our intention, is we use art to help shift consciousness. Like there's so much art out there that's just kind of art for the sake of getting attention, but we need art with intention that is there to be able to like change perspectives, open hearts.
If you don't mind me, a small plug, but that's literally what I do. The intent is an apparel business gearing towards metaphysics with symbols, words, names, logos,
Yeah.
That's sort of what I do. It acts as talisman, and this is what I focus on, artwork. Of course, I have many other things, but this is what I felt was a good segue for people when they see these things. They want to know more. So they go into an experience and start.
Yeah.
They ask you, they approach you.
Yeah.
But that's just one thing that I stem from.
Awesome, man. Sweet, dude. Well, yeah, again, thank you for being here, man. And yeah, you along with everyone else, I'm looking forward to, seeing what magic we create together. So we've already been creating plenty.
True.
So. Cool, man. Is there anything else in the moment you want to mention?
Me? I have a lot more, but we'll definitely get there. I don't want to take up all the bandwidth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? People have to listen to things in linear frequency, so It's weird. We're so after that AI broadcast, I'm just like, wow, we're so slow. Like I have to like write things out and type things. I'm just like, imagine if we were robots and it's like. Phew. Anyways, we'll get there. All right, thank you again, man. Appreciate you being here. All right. Okay. Last call on anybody else who wants to be able to share anything on the mic. We've pretty much had almost everyone here who's already shared something. So if anybody else has anything they want to share, you guys can unmute your microphone and jump on. So I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but you guys are welcome to. And other than that, if there's nobody else in particular, okay, let's just play around for about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna invite everyone here. This is gonna be a little bit experimental, a little bit of chaos for the sake of creation. I'm just gonna invite you guys in a second to unmute your microphones, and I just want to be able to ask you guys how you're feeling, and maybe if you guys want to share like any of your intentions for what it is that you want to create in context of like this project, what it is that you're feeling inspired to do. I would love to be able to hear that. And then again, after the broadcast, we'll hang out some more and we'll chat some more. So go ahead, everybody unmute themselves. Go ahead, make some noise. Go ahead. You can. Where's Turner when we need him? You make him.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so lovely.
You guys having fun tonight? Everyone having fun?
Alchemist.
What's up, everyone?
Not in here.
Yo.
I know
Alright.
he left. What the heck?
Yeah,
Love
I know.
it.
He went
So
to
sad.
bed. He's in bed.
That's all right.
He ate and he took a nap.
He probably ate some pizza and pickle.
Yeah. People outside
Yeah,
the
he was
broadcast
right
are
into
just
the
like, what's
pickles.
this pickle thing they keep going on about? It's just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's what happens. There's a lot of like stuff that goes on in the, like as much as people listen to this and they're just like, wow, these team broadcasts are so interesting. Just think about all of the discussions that you're not hearing that are not recorded, that happen exclusively through the Discord. In like
Oh my
those
God.
bizarre hours in the late morning.
I've been talking to Alchemist of the Flesh for like the last couple nights in the voice chat.
Yeah.
Really? Because I
Me
never
and-
seen there.
Me and him like started out, and then by the end of it, there's like 6 or 7 people, or like all filtered through like
Yeah.
five or 6 people. Me just talking to them one on one, and then 3 of us talking, and
Yeah, that's
been awesome.
That's
weird,
been
'cause
really
I
great.
was telling him, I was like, I never see you on here anymore. Back in the day, it was like just you and I.
Yeah, it really warms my heart when I'm just kind of like in and out of my room, and I'll like look on the chat and be like, oh sweet, there's like 5 people in the chat right now. Like I don't know what they're talking about, but they're doing something. They're creating some progress there. So again, you guys can kind of imagine how in the future, you know, maybe there will be like 5 people like in the workroom, and maybe you guys will be like working on an assignment together, and then I'll check in with you later and you'll be like, hey Brendon, like here's progress we've made, here's like a video that we've made, or here's a conscious article that we've made, or something like that. So yeah,
it's super exciting. Like once I start getting working with other people and just working with energy in general, ideas just kind of start flowing into my head, and it'll be nice to be able to bounce that off of other people and actually make it grow.
Yeah, the big thing that, you know, in terms of like the structure of the Discord and the project in general, my intention in terms of how to do that was kind of creating like streams and literally channels. It's funny that we call them channels, because I think we call them channels, but we forget that channels are things that water flow through. And so it's like we're creating places for energy to flow through, and by the design of the channels within the Discord, it creates a flow of energy, right? So now that we've kind of done a little bit of restructuring, now like that energy is going to be focused a little bit more towards specific objectives. So how do you guys feel about like the stuff that we were talking about earlier, like the additional stuff added to the team Discord? Does that feel okay for you guys? Like I know it's like it can be kind of be like, oh wow, there's a lot, but at the same time, once you kind of understand what it's all there for, it's not a lot. So
well, it was
There's, like,
overwhelming
intentionality
until you started explaining the thing, getting a better understanding. Everything
Yeah,
is
that's
I don't
the
know.
thing, is like when you come in here and you actually going on, like I feel like a few months ago things kind of you know, we made a lot of big changes and everyone was like, wait but this time it's totally different, because you were like, okay, so let me tell you what's going on here.
yeah. And
right?
that's where
Hey guys, I'm stepping
I think
out to
that
see it online.
you did a
Alright, actually,
great time. Like
talk to you later, man. Just Donio,
I think you did a great job like explaining everything, and I also feel like I don't know if you ever seen those YouTube videos with like the techno playing in the background, and then they give like a tutorial of some computer thing.
Right.
I feel like I would want that, like
Yeah,
with your voice.
I'll probably
Like I would, you know, like
Yeah.
you going through the Discord and like, oh, here's the live feature and here's how you do it, and yeah, specifically with the techno music in the back.
Specifically with the techno music makes everything better. But yeah,
Mike, I have a
that'll be
question.
something. I'll just answer.
My question is,
oh, sorry.
when
Shakti, go ahead.
we're to do this work, is there is it kind of just like, okay, here's all the new updates, here's all the tasks, here's all of these kind of intentions that have been set, and so from here, you know, between here and implementation, is it just like a natural organic evolution of all of us, or is there like further leadership in that?
Yeah, so you guys would be checking in with me in terms of if you're creating quest journals and conscious articles, nothing there gets published until it gets approved. So that would be something where if you're creating a quest journal and maybe there's some tweaks that we want to be able to do on it, I'll literally have to like talk to you about that first, and I'll just be like, here's a little bit more ways as to like maybe fix some formatting, or maybe we can change the title a little bit. And video wise, you know, if you guys are just inspired to create your own videos, you create those, and then those will start showing up through the feeds on the channel. If there's particular things that you want to like come to me to be able to like suggest as something that you're working on, absolutely, just kind of talk to me about that. Again, you kind of within the context of like this being like a media production company, again, I want you guys to kind of visualize me being at my desk. And so if you're working on something and you got some questions at any time, just kind of come up to me and just be like, hey Brendon, here's something I'm working on. You know, I'm either looking for approval or feedback or something like that, and we can just kind of talk about that. But again, there's going to be, you know, how you guys are creating your own Instagram feeds, that's entirely within your freedom of will of how you do that. Though at the same time, I do want to be able to help give some guidance on how to be able to brand ourselves as we're creating our individual Instagram feeds and things. So that'll be a topic that we'll be able to focus a lot more on, the idea of like seeing ourselves as our own brand. Like that's a very powerful idea, and that ties into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Word.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, that again, there's within this project and the way how we've kind of always done it. A key thing within this is that I try not to make too many updates all at once. You know, like there's actually other updates that are still coming that I haven't even talked to you guys about yet. Those will come down the line, but again, it's kind of like taking steps. It's kind of, you know, let's do this, let's get a feel for it, and then we'll introduce the next thing. So even in terms of us creating the new updates that we've just introduced today, like if I had introduced those 2 months ago, it wouldn't really have made sense. Like we had to kind of get our feet wet type thing, and then you kind of introduce like the new elements as you are kind of getting ready for it. And that's kind of, you know, the same way it would go if you're like releasing some sort of app or something like that. Like you wouldn't necessarily want to release your app with all the bells and whistles. You would actually release it as kind of like a core model, and then you would start adding features as people start getting involved with it type thing. So but yeah, Shakti, was there any other questions or feedback or anything like that, or anything in particular you're feeling called to create even? I'd love to.
Somebody was, I think it was maybe Josh was mentioning that once we start working with more of the energy and stuff and bringing ourselves into this balance, bringing ourselves into that higher awareness, how everything around us starts to fall into place, and everything starts to flow with more ease. And so it's just, again, the synchronicities. Before I popped on here, I was having like a team meeting with like my team over here, and it's just like so many of the same topics that you hit on were things that I had mentioned as well. It's just like minutes prior, and so just, you know, it just feels like there's this alignment, and a base of support, like a sense of support, knowing that it's like I'm not the only one out here doing this work, having the same conversation that y'all are having in here. And so just, I mean, like, you know, visions are grand. Like, I know we're visionary people in here, I believe. At least I connect to and identify as that. And so it's just, I see so much of what you said. Like, I took notes, and I just see so much of what you said that apply to what I'm doing in my org as well. And just like seeing so many connections where in the future, how, yeah, like right now we're the vanguard. And we're setting that foundation, but like in the future, like what kind of allyship is being created amongst these individual communities that we're all creating back home wherever we are. So it's just really invigorating work. So like I'm just really looking forward to you know, staying connected, supporting each other, and just seeing how we can help accelerate each other in our own communities back where we're at in person.
Totally. Yeah, like I know that there is a lot of value that we have in this community. And again, you know, like I want people to feel that their involvement in this community, I want you guys to almost feel like, wow, like I would pay like $200 a month to have access to this community or something like that, because there are lots of other places out there that's what they do, right? And that's kind of like how they keep it exclusive, as well as keeping, you know, people engaged. Because imagine if you were paying $200 to have access to maybe just the Discord chat, would that change how you show up? So like really kind of resonate with the value that we're creating, with the value that I'm offering. Because again, you know, my role in this, like I want to be able to be essentially kind of like a life coach, as well as like a media mentor for a lot of you guys. And again, and for me, it as much as I could, and I've thought about this, right? Like I'm like, okay, I want to create, you know, a teaching specifically about video editing. Theoretically, I could create like a 2-hour, you know, crowdcast lecture, and I could charge you guys like $20 to come and attend, and I could make like $2,000 off that or something like that, right? Whereas like for me, I'm like, as much as I could do that, I want to be able to provide this to the people, like for the purpose of being able to get them aware of what it is that we're sharing with them. Like for me, because of the team Patreon, it allows us to be able to provide the value that we're doing without the necessary need for the monetary exchange. Like that's a huge thing that the Patreon allows us to be able to do. And I think that's like a really powerful model that we're creating through the micro donations. And again, you know, really just focusing in on like, what does being a shifter mean? Like, yeah, shifter means like be you know, like building yourself up and creating, you know, community and doing the free hugs. But like the media aspect of it, the idea of being an archivist, a journalist for the shifting consciousness, that is so powerful. Like that is incredibly powerful, because we each become our own beacon for broadcasting the messages that we're able to reach out to our networks, and we're able to grow our own relationships, and we're able to grow our own communities as well. So, you know, the part of the inspiration behind, and I'll just share this with you guys, behind me even wanting to kind of not just create conscious media, but thinking of myself as a gonzo journalist, a neo gonzo journalist is what I refer to myself on YouTube. You guys will see that, and some of you are probably just like, you know, like what exactly does that mean? Gonzo journalist means doing a form of journalism where you yourself are involved in the story. So it's like a subjective form of journalism. Neo Gonzo specifically refers to basically a character from a comic book called Transmetropolitan, which takes place in the future, like a dystopian future. And it's like a superhero comic book, but the main character, whose name is Spider Jerusalem, which is kind of like where Skull Babylon gets like an homage from. But his character was literally a journalist. Like that was his superpower, and he was like helping expose corruption. He was helping like save people. He was helping like shift the stories and the timelines. So when I started getting involved with that, I'm like, heck yeah, like shift, yeah, like we can do that too, right? Like we can actually use our media to share a story that might not be being shared, bring attention to something that needs attention to, and we're seeing that more and more, that as mainstream media becomes more and more, you know, just tailored to fit a certain agenda, we're realizing how important it is for us to be able to create our own story and for us to be able to take the media into our own hands. And what is the story that we want to share? And so again, the overarching story, not only is it about like the shift in consciousness, but like you're going to start seeing this bigger story as I start like adding more into it myself, of again like this like modern resurgence of the light guardian. And like really kind of like you're like whoa, like that sounds cool, like I'm like, what does that mean, right? Like, so again, when, just for context, when I use the term light guardian, that is really synonymous for shifter. It is essentially the same thing, you know, like shifter, light guardian, dreamer, hacker. It's all kind of the same thing, the same multiple words for the same thing in that context. But again, you know, just the idea of being able to have the ability to know how to create good content, to know how to get a message out there, like that is incredibly valuable, you know? So that's where, again, I want to be able to help give you guys that value so that you can be a part of this company, so that you can work alongside me, because that's what I want. I want people who I can work alongside with and who I can support and see and, you know, watch them grow. And as we grow together, like it's man, it's crazy. Like, especially
it has to be done together. It has to be co-created, because
yeah,
like, again, this is just one small part of a much larger story, right? And that larger story is we're all a small little part of that as well. And so here we are working away on our individual missions, which it's just like one drop, but like without each one of those drops, you don't have the ocean. So it's like, it's really apparent how this extrapolates out. You know, and that's what I'm noticing is really beautiful about this, is that it does that. It goes really deep, it goes really far, and then it brings it back into this 3D level of like, okay, let's get this work done in these 3D bodies.
Totally. Yeah. And again, you know, like with people taking, you know, organizing the communities where they are, because I didn't explain this before, but I'll just explain it to you for context. You know, if you're creating a community meetup events and you want to call it a paradigm shift, your location, so paradigm shift Florida, paradigm shift Chicago, you know, and these have existed. I don't even know what their status is now, again, because like after the apocalypse of Facebook, it's hard to, we've lost contact with a lot of people, but that's okay. Tabula Rasa is totally fine with me. But again, if you're creating a community meetup where you are, a community event, if you want to call it a paradigm shift something, that's totally cool. If you don't want to call it a paradigm shift something, equally as cool, right? So like if you're branding something where it's just like, hey, you know, like this is me creating an event and maybe this is me doing a lecture, that's okay, right? More or less, it's just about encouraging you to create whatever those conscious community meetup events might be, because that is what moves the story forward, right? If you're creating it as a paradigm shift, whatever, then you can kind of integrate it and you can kind of like be a part of that shared momentum, but you're not expected to. So it's just kind of, it's an option. So I'm just kind of like keeping that in mind, because I know there's some people that are just like, oh, okay, you know, like I've already been doing like a sound bowl healing type thing, and you know, maybe I don't want to call it paradigm shift, but maybe it can still be involved with paradigm shift. So again, you know, names are very flexible, but yeah, because Shakti did, like you were kind of saying like you already have some like physical community stuff that you're already involved with. Was that my understanding?
That's correct.
Cool. Can you just
I mean,
tell me
like
a little
we're
bit
talking
about that?
about a lot of the same stuff, but it's mostly healing work that we're doing in community. For just like underserved populations, for women, just for promoting practitioners, promoting artists, and
Awesome.
just like working on service. And so I see a lot of that. We're actually, it's so funny because you've got this whole kingdom that you're creating here. I mean, you're talking about creating a place that feels like home and all that. And this idea where in the Shopify, how people could rent the space to be able to list their items and sell things, and just kind of like creating your own world through this. And that's kind of, you know, what you do when you create community, right? So like before I was saying how you're making this into community, but it's also a company. It's also a, you know, it's part of some bigger story. That's like exactly what we're doing in the form of a nonprofit organization. We're creating a new community, and the goal is to actually, you know, long term. I think somebody was talking about off grid here earlier, and it was you actually. And so it's like this idea of that intentional community, and you know, whether it be online or actually living together in like a you know, kind of a like ashram type of setting, or something like that. So that's what we're working on that over here, like down in New
That's
York.
awesome.
We're like north of Manhattan. And just connecting people, getting people together, whether it's like this online or getting people together in the same room. It's like when you're together, the vibration gets raised much higher than when you're doing the work by yourself.
That's awesome.
And so this idea of you having this co-working space is highly resonant to me as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Shakti. And just out of curiosity, like you came across this, like you joined the Discord a week ago. How did you come across us synchronicity wise?
So I'm on Facebook a lot. I follow a lot of women on there who are doing light work, and just for the past few months, like, what is this 1111 all over the place, all over the freaking place, and so started getting into the the backstory and the meditations and stuff. And so it was the portal on 1129. And so I started just, searching up on Google, just some, new videos. I wanted some new meditation videos. And I came across the one that you guys posted for like 1111 this year. And I was like, that's it. Like, this stuff is a real deal, yo. And I'm a meditation teacher as well. I'm a certified meditation teacher. It's what I do for a living.
Awesome.
With yoga. So it's like, for me to find a meditation that really resonates, it's really powerful for me to be able to receive that. So first of all, thank you for creating that and allowing me to receive that.
Thank you as well. Yeah.
And that's what catalyzed my joining of this community.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, because I recall your comment from previously where you had mentioned that's where you came across it. So that's awesome. So yeah. Again, right? Like that's where, as things evolve, like it is my intention to grow my YouTube and just thinking about that, every piece of media content that we put out there is a portal back to the community. Right. So that's like a very powerful thing. So yeah, I'm happy that you were able to synchronistically come across it. And again, I'm happy that you're here. So looking forward to collaborating some more. So it's awesome. And and please feel free to, after this broadcast, whenever you get a chance to, share more information about, even in the Shift community admins chat, about like your physical meetups that you're doing as just inspiration for other people to be able to see what is being created. So yeah. Awesome. Sweet. Cool. All right. Okay, let's get close to wrapping this up, everyone. Does anybody else have anything they feel they want to share, any gratitude they want to be able to express before we close off this broadcast? And then, after that, you guys can hang out a little bit more. We'll do some stuff over the next coming days. Stay tuned for updates. Keep an eye on the important announcements tabs. One thing that I guess I didn't mention this during the broadcast, but I wanted to be able to create the automatic announcements through the Discord, where it would be like every evening, except the ones where we're actually doing a team broadcast, where it would invite people into the Hangout Lounge at a specific time. So it wouldn't just be like, oh, is anybody in the Hangout Lounge? No? Okay, I guess not. It would be like 7 p.m., or it'd be 2 times during the day. It would be like during the morning and then during the evening, so that way even people outside of the regular Eastern Standard Time zone could still get involved. And we may have a third time in there, we'll see. This is, again, I have to kind of decide on that and get some feedback from you guys, but it would basically be a thing where it'd be like, okay, 7 p.m. Friday night, let's join the team hangout. And that was something that I've been promoting in the last couple months as well, because Friday nights at 7 p.m. is when we have our local Paradigm Shift London Canada meeting. So I'm like, okay, cool, you guys online can have your own hangout meeting at the same time, which is just kind of a cool idea. So for anybody out here, just putting that out there, and I'll try and get the announcements set up properly so it'll be automated. But yeah, 7 p.m.s on evenings will be like a standard time for people to be able to like check in and to be able to like join some hangouts and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll do probably some polls and stuff like that and get some more feedback on what times work best for everyone. But yeah, that was just one more thing I wanted to mention. Again, anybody else have any either short questions or just any general gratitude that they want to be able to express? And then we're going to wrap this up because this broadcast is about 3 hours long at this point. But yeah, this like basically turned into like an actual broadcast after all that. So which is fine. There's a lot of good information that came through it. So You guys can just unmute yourself if you want. I know everyone here is kind of like pretty muted and stuff, so I think we're pretty close to wrapping it up. So, Jacob, I haven't heard anything from you. Did you want to say anything? I know you've been involved in the chat and stuff, and I've appreciated what you've been bringing to the live broadcast and the chats. So thank you, man, for being there. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. That's totally cool. All right, last call for anybody. Otherwise, we'll just end with a very short, simple meditation. So, okay, cool. All right, that works with me. Okay, guys, let's do just a simple moment of oneness, and let's just kind of connect with our breath. This isn't going to be like a guided meditation. This will literally just be us connecting to our breath for a few moments. So, just inviting you to close your eyes. And even in this moment, just observe how quickly, there is no rush, but how quickly you can bring yourself into this space of awareness of your breath, of the feeling of oneness. We'll just do some breathing here together. Gentle inhales through the nose. Gentle exhales through the nose and the mouth. Just breathe here in silence just for the next few moments, connecting in your heart, feeling the connection of the team, the intentions that we've talked about during this broadcast, just embodying that into your being and giving yourself permission to actualize all of the potential that you have inside of you. Just a couple more breaths. So as you continue to breathe, just bringing that gratitude into your heart. And so for all the shifters near and far, wherever you are, for being beacons of the stars, thank you for coming to where we are, to be able to take part in this story that is just beginning to unfold, that is beginning to show us what truly is this goal as we unite our hearts with our mind, as we show each other the truth beyond this time, that this story is much bigger than we can even imagine as we continue to awaken ourselves to what has always been. And so it is with deep gratitude and with deep pride that I stand together with you by our side. For together we are united, and together we are whole, and together we will reach that beautiful infinite goal. For it is already here. Oh. Awesome. All right, so thank you again, everyone. Other reminders as we move into this, stay tuned for future broadcasts. Again, Thursdays, 9:30, we'll be here again for our team roundtable. Next broadcast, we'll kind of do a similar thing, but I want to be able to get more specific in getting some feedback from you guys on what it is that we're creating and what it is that you're doing within your local communities. The week after that, it will be Dream Class, and then the week after that, it will be Destiny School, if I do have my calendar correct. I think so. And that will be on the topic of psychedelics. And other than that, we do have our Sunday meditations, Sundays at 9:30. And again, make sure you're subscribed at youtube.com//Skull Babylon. And again, just a huge shout out to those of you supporting on Patreon, and everyone, of course, are being involved. If you haven't taken a look at the Patreon yet, please feel free to check that out and consider contributing if you're able to with a monthly micro donation. Again, those contributions are incredibly important for the ongoing evolution of the project, and we are currently at 153 Patreons, 861 per month. Again, for those of you keeping an eye on the Patreon, you will notice the numbers fluctuate. That's part of the nature of this, and part of the work involved is that even at the end of the month, you would have noticed that we were actually at 163 Patreons, and we were actually at about like 930 per month. And then again, what happens is that as the month rolls through, not all the donations process. Some people have their donations put on hold, which is totally okay and understandable, but that is where the numbers fluctuate. So even though we had brought on 20 new Patreon supporters, we still have a ways to go to be able to get ourselves, you know, beyond just the point where we're staying at the same level. And this is where we're going to get into the objective of getting at least like 40 new Patreon supporters on a month, and that will be able to help build up the Patreon so that it will be, you know, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, to the point where we have that regenerative income as a community. And again, that income will be going right into supporting you guys as well for the work that you're doing, and lots of other awesome stuff to support the shift. So patreon.com/Brendon Culliton. Be sure to check that out and message me if you have any questions. And even if you just want to donate any single donations, you can also do that through the PayPal, and the links for that are in the YouTube video as well. And just send me a link if you want to do anything else. Yeah, other than that, let's keep in touch through the team Discord chat. There's going to be a lot more work that I have to do over the next couple weeks, but things are going to start getting more streamlined here. In the meantime, I just encourage you guys to keep working on yourself, keep focusing on your media creation, start brainstorming ideas for quest journals, conscious articles, for videos that you want to start working on, start reflecting on what your value is that you're cultivating, that you have to share. And yeah, think about creating the physical paradigm shift communities where you are. Think about going out there and doing free hugs as well. You don't have to wait for your shifter booster kit. You can create a free hug sign. You can go out there, literally just do it as an experiment, see what happens. You know, do it with the intention of going out there to create meaningful social interactions, and then spark conversations with people, talk to them. And if you want to, you can literally tell them about paradigmshiftcentral.com, and then that will link them back to the main website as well. So with that said, thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll jump over into regular hangout mode in a second. And yeah, I'll be looking to coordinate with some people very shortly. We'll be able to start bringing in some collaboration on the global team map. So for anybody who wants to get involved with the team map, I'm going to open up that chat soon, and let me know if you want to add yourself to the team map, and that will be one thing that we'll be able to focus on over the next little bit, as well as many other exciting things. So yeah, I'm happy with this broadcast. It definitely got into some pretty awesome territory, and yeah, as it continues to, you know, create more clarity, it continues to help us focus our shared intentions, and yeah, really awesome stuff. So again, I'm proud of what it is that we're creating together, and deeply honored by all of us being here and feeling that shared vision, seeing that shared vision. So I'm going to bring up the outro music, and at the same time, I'm inviting everybody here who's still in the Discord chat just to be able to unmute your microphones and say goodnight to all the people tuned in by making some noise. So go ahead, guys. You guys can unmute yourself and say goodnight to all the other shifters out there. So good night, shifters. We love you. We love you guys. We love you. Go ahead, guys. Unmute them mics.
Thanks.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I think everybody's just listening. Josh, unmute your mic. Make some noise. Oh, good. I guess they're still meditating. That's the excuse we'll use. That's okay. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Much love. Keep it shifty. We'll see you in the future.